Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. This is ASO Tarot, and in today's Pick a Card reading, we are going to be looking at your person's feelings for you and seeing how they see you and the connection, and we'll finish off with channeled messages from your person and then channeled messages and advice from your guides, and then we will have an extended today on your person's 18 plus feelings for you. So if you've been with them before, it'll be their feelings about what's already gone on, and if you haven't yet, it'll be their feelings about just how they see it, how they think about it, what they're thinking so far. But we have 4 piles to choose from today. We have pile 1 with the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot and this blue Goldstone heart. We have pile 2 with the Black Line tarot and this little Amethyst angel. She's in a lot of my videos, but I don't think she's ever been a pile before, so now's her time to shine. And with pile 3, we have the Dreamkeepers Tarot and this flower agate sun. And finally, with pile 4, we have the Cosmic Slumber Tarot and this Larimar shell. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. It's absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one. I will say in this case, it is very possible for you to get a pile that sounds like your energy. So if that's the case, I would check a different pile as well to see if your person's energy is in here, but it's possible that maybe only your energy is in here. I'll kind of explain when we get to each pile. But once you picked your pile, you can go ahead and scroll down to the description box or the comment section down below where I will have all the timestamps listed. And once you are ready, we will get into your reading. Hi there, pile 1. If you guys chose the blue Goldstone heart and the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot, this is going to be a reading on how your person is feeling about you. But before we get into the tarot, we're going to go deeper into their feelings. What I actually want to do first, which typically at this part I do like a connection check and see what's going on with you and your person, but I'm doing it a bit differently this time. I want to look at how your person sees themselves and then how they see you and how they see the connection, so that when we look at their feelings, we can kind of understand why they might feel the way they do. So if you find that it isn't an accurate representation of yourself, don't be alarmed, because it is not how you see yourself or how spirit sees you, it's how this person sees you. So let's go ahead and start. So in terms of how this person sees the connection, we have first house, the body, and spiritual awakening, which is the crown chakra. And then how this person sees themselves. To start, we have the peacock in reverse, and we have the bat. We also have another card that is missing. Oh, it fell, that's why, and my crown fell. We have the creator, and if you wondered what fell, it's my crown. I wear this when I read. You'll just can't see it. And we also have creative. And then for how your person sees you, we have the raccoon in reverse, which is interesting because I've never had cards come out in reverse like this, but I knew it was significant. We'll get into it. They also see you as the shapeshifter and fortune and listen. So I couldn't help but when I was shuffling for these cards, like I giggled when creative came out after I shuffled creator, because I was like, the creator is creative. Okay. So the way that this person sees themselves, I actually think is pretty accurate to probably how they are. I don't know. I mean, obviously I would say everybody's self-perception is a little bit off, but when I look at their side, I keep hearing that One Direction song, What Makes You Beautiful, like the very beginning part where it's like, you're insecure, don't know what for. And I feel like this person that you're asking about, they are a really kind and compassionate person. And clearly creativity is a big part of their life. It could literally be their job. They could be like a content creator. They could be an artist. They could be an entrepreneur. They could be like a ton of different things. But whatever it is, I mean, they could even be like just like a parent, like a stay-at-home parent, and that's part of their creating. I just heard art teacher as well, so that might be a very specific, or teacher. Maybe they're a very artistically inclined teacher and they make a lot of like cool shit for their students. I don't know. But this person, they are, they seem to be waiting on you, is kind of what I'm hearing, which is interesting because this back card talks about listening, and we have listen over here. This person definitely does not see themselves accurately in the sense that they're very hard on themselves. I don't think that they like recognize their own beauty, their own compassion, like what they give to the world. But I do think that the fact that creator and creative is coming up, I think one thing that you have contributed to them or to their life is that you have been a muse of some sort. So maybe you've helped them with their creativity, maybe you've collaborated with them. Doesn't really have to be that deep, but I do think that they do get creative inspiration around you. And what I even noticed is like the raccoon is completely dark, and even surrounding this creator is this black edge around it. And I almost feel like your energy kind of permeates anything that they do. I don't know if that's like literally like your literal muse, or they're just working and you happen to be on their mind while they are, or maybe they even use their work as a way to escape, like thinking about you or thinking about this connection. One thing that I kind of picked up on right away, which was interesting, is I think one thing that this person really likes about you is that you see the world the same way they do, which is not in a normal way, which is interesting because I was like, this person seems to have a healthy understanding of themselves, but I think it's only semi-healthy. Like the peacock is a really good card to come out, and so the fact that it came out reversed, I feel like this person doesn't really see themselves. Like I think that they project that this image is how other people see them, but I don't think it's necessarily how they see themselves. So it's likely that you'll resonate when I kind of talk about how they see you in a second, but I want to talk about how they see the connection first. This person definitely acknowledges that this connection is spiritual in some way. They have changed so much because of it. And in fact, maybe because of meeting you or because of this connection, it inspired them to kind of create their own life. I heard life, but like create their own hobby, side business, or just get more creative. But they also see this as a promising connection. But for some of you, they maybe are waiting for a new beginning first. They see this as something that could definitely have potential, but it's not in the physical right now. I would say they probably consistently, I just heard this, their world has been turned upside down since they've met you, essentially. And I think it's cool that we even have the back card coming out, because the back card talks about like waiting, but also kind of being in hiding. So maybe you don't see this person very often, or maybe this person like retreats. Like I keep picturing, if you've ever seen the show What We Do in the Shadows, it's like a funny show about vampires. They will say like bat, and then they turn into a bat and fly away. And so I almost wonder if this person, like whenever they do like come around you, it's like as quickly as they show up, they disappear maybe. And so that might be something that they're acknowledging, that yeah, they kind of show up every once in a while, but they probably spend a lot of time in their cave creating, or just kind of focusing on the things they need to focus on. But what's interesting is that they're still looking at you. So let's talk about you, because I think we're gonna go into the connection more as I do this. They don't really know what to expect with you, if I'm being honest. You really keep your cards hidden close to the chest, and I feel like they are unsure of which version of you is the true version. They also have fears that you've heard things from other people about them that aren't accurate. It kind of seems like with this peacock person, it does kind of seem like they have a lot of attention around them in some way. Maybe they have a following, or maybe they're just like well known in their community. And like what I'm kind of, and maybe not even just like the community, maybe just known among mutual friends, or like yeah, the mutual friends thing is kind of like sticking pretty hard. But what I'm kind of getting is that they may worry about like what you've heard about them, because it does kind of seem like there's a lot of misinformation around them, and I'm hearing that could be due to jealousy or spite, or other people judging this person and not knowing them. Also, if you hear like banging or slamming, like I promise nobody's like trying to break into my house and murder me. There's just people doing like construction work underneath me or something. So sorry if you can hear that, but they definitely don't know what they're going to get with you whenever they do see you. And what's interesting is that I almost feel like whenever they do see you, because of fortune here, it's almost like a blessing. I think they see you as a blessing in general. I think they find you very cute, but raccoons can't be domesticated. So I feel like they kind of see you as a little wild and a little bit like I said, they're not really sure what they're going to get with you. And it's even interesting because the shapeshifter has like the tiger and this person, but they definitely acknowledge that you have a mask. And I think what's frustrating for them is that they know that you see eye to eye with them, but they feel like maybe you're not afraid to fully take off your mask with them. And maybe that's because you haven't spent enough time together, or there's fears around being super authentic. What I think is interesting is that it's probably vice versa, in the sense that you've probably felt the same way about them. Like, I feel like neither of you are able to really see each other accurately, because ever since you've met one another, your whole world has kind of been turned upside down. I feel like for both of you, and especially if you've known this person for a while, like this whole world upside down energy has become the new normal. Because I feel like for this person, at least, they feel your energy a lot. And it kind of, and sometimes it fuels their creativity and sometimes it hinders their creativity, which is really interesting. But I think that you both have completely flipped expectations of what life or things should be on their head. But it's like you both are kind of waiting for the other, is the energy that I'm feeling. Because I mean, with this raccoon person, the peacock person, which is your person, unless this sounds like you, then you're getting a reading about yourself. Oh shit, I was supposed to say something about that. Yeah, so because we are doing this like from your person's perspective, you may find that it sounds like you. So maybe there are messages for you. Hopefully you can find your person in another pile, but if you find that it's just you and your feelings, I would say that maybe there's a significant reason for that. But definitely check and see if there's one that like seems to be vice versa or something like that. This is the first pile, so I don't know if there will be, but yeah. This raccoon card comes out a lot though. So I almost just wonder if there's some deeper significance there. But what I'm kind of seeing here is that your person essentially sees you as somebody who's a good listener, but somebody who like they are unsure of like what your truth is, especially when it comes to them. And I feel like maybe they're keeping their distance from you because they know that they have to, or for some of you, this is like a separation type thing. For others, this could just be newer. But I feel like for a lot of you, there's a lot of interesting like waiting energy. And even though this is so significant, I feel like your person sees you as somebody like kind of unpredictable. And so they're very unsure of what's to come with this. Nonetheless, they do feel very grateful to like know you, and they feel very grateful to have learned the lessons that they've needed to learn. Like, you've definitely awakened them a lot spiritually. And I actually think that this has turned into a physical transformation. Like, they've almost, and I like how these are very cohesive, because the spiritual awakening card, it's like, from like, you've helped this person glow from the inside out. And what's interesting is that this peacock card actually talks about that, like, in the book. And I think that this peacock person, your person, truthfully, I think is more awakened to this connection than you are. That doesn't mean that they're taking actions towards you or doing anything, but I think that they just have more awareness. Or if it's not awareness about the connection, it's that the connection has brought them a lot more awareness about themselves. I feel like in terms of how they say you, they think that you're maybe less receptive to the connection, or you don't really, you see it less. I feel like they see you as somebody who knows that the connection is there, but either refuses to acknowledge it, or it's just not a stable, solid thing. So they don't really maybe view you as reliable. I feel like they do have fears around you because they're not really sure what's your true self. And I also think if they've been with you both alone and in social settings, the way that you maybe act towards them is very different. And so they don't know how to take that, and they don't know like what the truth is. They're like, okay, is it, they're not sure. I'm hearing the One Way or Another song, like, I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna get you. Oh my God. So maybe this person does want to find you, or hopes that you'll find them. But I think at the very least, they recognize how significant this connection is. They recognize that it has awakened them a lot spiritually. I think that they're listening to guidance from the universe. So honestly, I do feel like there will definitely be some divine feminines and stuff in this pile that'll be like, this sounds like me. And they're gonna be like, you're right, queen. But not for everyone. So I'm gonna, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go into over explaining, but yeah, we're gonna see how your person, how they feel now, how they feel about you. So, okay, we are going to be using the Nightmare for Christmas Tarot, and I'm hearing the song at the end of the movie. It's like, we're simply meant to be. I think that's actually the last line of the movie. But yeah, I'm excited that tarot has become trendy enough that Disney thinks it's acceptable to publish tarot decks. I'm all about it. I'm like, well, I mean, not necessarily like Disney, but you know, giving a corporation more money. But I just think it's funny that like you would not find, I was literally at Disney World last year. You could not find anything tarot related there. But like just the amount of popularity it's gotten like in the past year and shit. Now they're like, oh yeah, tarot's cool. Oh, corporate greed. Okay, let's go ahead and see how your person is feeling. So, Spirit, how's pile one's person? How are they currently feeling about pile one? Okay, Page of Cups. How are they currently feeling about pile two? Pile two. Oops. Maybe there's some pile two messages. Six of Candles. Six of Wands. Okay. How is pile one's person currently feeling about pile one? Okay, we have the Eight of Candles. How's pile one's person? How are they currently feeling about pile one? Four of Pentacles. Okay, that makes more sense. All right. How else? How else is this person feeling? The Three of Cups. Yeah, you and this person may see each other when you're like partying. Okay, Two of Pentacles. I think one more, Spirit. Okay, we have the World. And on the back of the deck, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, or Presence. Sorry. Okay, we'll put that there. I'm gonna show you this card in case it goes out of the frame when I put it down. But we also have Oracle cards because I just can't live without those. So we also have Falling Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy. We have Clairvoyance, Interpretation, Inspiration, Trust. We have Loneliness, I know that I am never alone. We have Synchronicity. And we have Walking Away, which Spirit's telling me to put in the middle. Okay. And then finally, we have The Lonely Journey of the Priestess and Ripe Fruits. So, okay. Pile 1, how's your person feeling about you? So, they have so much fun with you. Like, that is like one of the biggest messages coming through. But I definitely feel like they walked away from this connection like a while ago. Maybe not literally, like maybe their heart has always been invested in this connection, but they may have like actually moved away or something like that, and they just don't really see you that often anymore. Or because it does kind of seem like both of you are unsure of like when you actually get to see each other. It definitely feels like some more spiritual mamba jamba going on. But what I find really interesting is that it does seem like this energy between the both of you is somewhat temporary. The fact that I accidentally said pile 2, there may be some significance there. I wonder if this will be flip-flopped. But this person, they really want a positive outcome here, and they really want to take action towards you. But they are purposefully withholding interaction with you. And I think that's because there's a lack of balance within this connection with the 2 of Presents. I was like, Priestess? Like, I couldn't read that for a second. 2 of Pentacles, essentially. With the 2 of Pentacles in reverse here, I feel like they sense a lack of balance in this connection, and I think that they feel like you're not as interested in them as they are. Or maybe you haven't responded or haven't reciprocated with them, so they're just kind of feeling like, all right, well, I'm not gonna put myself out there if I'm not gonna be well received. If that's not the case, if you are open and receptive to them and do reach out to them, then I would say it's possible that maybe they are just really like unbalanced and not able to have this connection and exist in their life. But I do feel like for a lot of you, they feel like there's a lack of balance or lack of reciprocity, because I do feel like this person walked away. And actually what I feel like is, I think that one issue that they have is that it's very hard for them to stay centered around you. And I think that there's a lot of intensity within this connection, and that makes it harder for them. I do feel like substances are a big thing for this pile. Whether you both use them or this person uses them, I do feel like there's a lot of like partying energy here, especially with the 3 of Cups and the Page of Cups and the Falling Angel, because I do feel like this person ends up doing things that they wouldn't normally do around you. And I don't know if I don't think they end up regretting it, but I do think that they notice that they are easily persuaded by you. I think they see you as somebody who is like, has so much more spiritual ability than they realize. I do think that this person has been on a spiritual path for a long time, and there's a lot about being lonely here. And I'm hearing like the Justin Bieber song about how lonely, so fucking lonely. And yeah, I do feel like this person feels lonely, and I think that maybe the lack of communication in this pile, or just the fact that, because I do feel like for a lot of you this could be a separation situation or just a connection that isn't really where either of you want it to be, or where this person wants it to be. I guess I don't know how you feel. I'm channeling your person. So I do feel like this person is holding back in order to not get hurt. They're trying to keep things light. I do think they want to reunite with you in some way, But I also think at the same time, they want a cycle to end with you and them. And I think that's maybe why this person left in the first place. This person is really focused on the bag, if I'm going to be honest, with the 8 of Pentacles here and the Page of Swords. I feel like you're on this person's mind a lot, but they try not to think too deeply about you. I feel like they have maybe reached out to you, but you haven't responded. And that's not going to resonate for everybody. So if that's not the case, like if you've been reaching out to them and they're responding, then that's an example of a message that's not for real. But vice versa, I do feel like for some of you, you're going to be watching this and you're going to be like, oh my God, that's me. But anyway, this person like has been through it, either in this connection or just like life in general, and plus this connection. But they feel like no matter where they are, like they feel your energy, which is kind of crazy to them. And I do think that they get a lot of like intuitive information about you. I would say with this clairvoyance card here, I feel like they have a lot of dreams. And with synchronicity, I would say they probably either like they see your name, or they see your birthday, or they see synchronicities related to you and your connection. And I feel like they do see your connection as something really solid, something worth investing in, something worth harvesting. But because that energy is not present right now, like the energy of 2 people being willing to like harvest this and come together, they're kind of just focusing on their own fruits that are ripening. They're kind of doing their own thing. Yeah, I definitely don't see this as them like having another person in the background and like focusing more on them than you. I really think that this is just that they are on their own journey. And for some of you, maybe this person has fallen off the path with spiritual narcolepsy. You know, maybe they I feel like they either see you as somebody who has maybe kind of lost touch with their spirituality, or they themselves have lost touch with their spirituality and they're trying to get back there. I did just hear relapse. So maybe for some of you, this person struggles with addiction or something like that. And so they're focusing on healing and recovering, but they still, you know, maybe it's possible for some of you, you're a motive or a motivation to like get sober or improve their life, maybe by seeing you or by caring about just what you think of them. But their feelings are like, I feel like they would take action towards you in a heartbeat if the energy was right, because they do want to take action towards you and they do want a successful connection. Like they still have playful romantic feelings for you, but I feel like it's never gotten to be like, there's never been anything established for something deeper to be said between either of you. You know, with that Page of Swords being underneath here as well, it's like you and this person haven't gotten to a deeper level. And I think that's why this person walked away in the first place, is because it wasn't going to go deeper than friendship. And they were like, oh, what's the point of me staying here? For some of you, I heard that your connection could have been like a deciding factor in them moving somewhere. Like, and that will only be the case if the connection didn't turn out well. Doesn't mean you had to like date them, but like maybe this person wanted something more and that wasn't going to be possible. Or you weren't interested in that, or you weren't into that, or you just weren't ready for that. And so, you know, they're like, okay, well, you know, I gotta go my own way. But I do think that they wish for this cycle to end, like whatever this cycle has been. And I feel like it's been a very long one, where as long as they've known you truthfully, I feel like they wish they could ascend to a higher level with you. And it's interesting that we have the World card here finishing things out, because we had the Body card as how they see the connection. This card, where is it? Yeah, this card. And this card talks about it's correlated with a Fool card. So essentially, I do feel like this person really wants a fresh start with you, but they want it to be different. They don't want it to be surface level. If you'll notice, we don't have any major arcana here. And I think that's really interesting, because this person does feel a major connection to you, and they feel like the what's gone on between you, what's been established, has been nowhere near as deep as their feelings. And so I feel like it was maybe very difficult, very painful for this person to like keep indulging in a connection that wasn't going where they wanted it to. But yeah, there's a lot about being lonely here. And I think that this person is lonely, but they would never admit it. I think that they focus on their work as a result. Like, they just focus on them. I don't think that this person is very good at, why did I want to cut the deck? What's in here? Aha! The Hermit. So yeah, this person is definitely in a hermit mode for sure. Kind of doing their own thing, trying to figure life out. And it's actually interesting. I really love this stone in both colors. I think it comes in like blue and gold, or like orange or gold, however you want to call it. But it's actually a man-made stone. It's not natural, but I think it's glittery and pretty. And I almost feel like this person is just trying their work. They're focusing on being self-made right now. But you're always a part of their heart is kind of what I feel like. I feel like there is a deeper connection here, but it's never reached that point. And so it's almost like this person, their deeper feelings, they don't even want to go into them because they're like, what's the point? Like, why? Like, I feel like they're stiffing me in this reading. Like, they're saying, like, yeah, they're there, but I'm not going to let you know how deep they run. Like, we don't need to do that right now. I also think they're worried about what you say to other people. Like, they don't want to know, like, you know, if they opened up to you, I'm not sure. Maybe, like, especially if you guys have mutual friends, it's possible that things that you've said about them have gotten back to them, and it might have made them feel uncomfortable about, like, what they said to you or what happened between you two. I do feel like this person is guarded, and I think that this person does want to reunite with you, but I think that there's things that need to be hashed out, and this person doesn't feel safe to kind of come into this connection like guns blazing, because I don't think that they're not going to fight for something if the other person doesn't want it. And I feel like they view you as somebody who doesn't want this connection. And like I said, if you are, because typically this is an interesting energy to read, because typically it's like the other way around, but you have to remember that this is their perspective. So maybe you do text them and they don't respond, and if that's the case, then maybe this isn't your pile, because I do feel like whoever this pile is for, you know, they don't get much of a response from you. I don't think it's the other way around. But for a lot of you, I may be reading your energy, so keep that in mind. But I definitely think that they want to like reconcile. They want to kind of kiss and make up. They want to go deeper with you. Like, they want to experience things at a deeper level with you, but that just doesn't seem to be happening right now. And so they're kind of just going their own way, focusing on their own bag, and recognizing that, like, there was nothing else to explore with this cycle. So unless something new happens, unless something changes, whether that's divinely guided or, you know, just happens naturally, the way they feel stands. And that's kind of like where they're at. They're like, this is it. This is how I feel. And honestly, there's a tinge of sadness to it. Like, it does feel kind of like surrender and acceptance, but at the same time, it's like they look back, you know, they like think about what happened between you two, and they think about how much they've grown since they've met you. I think there's a lot of gratitude for the lessons that they've learned from you, and I don't think that maybe you realize what kind of lessons you've taught them, but they have and still do look up to you in certain ways. I think their view of you has changed since everything has transpired, but it's no less loving. It's just different. It's just more aware. The rose-colored glasses are off, if that makes sense. Like, their love for you, or like their deep admiration for you, or their deep feelings for you. For all of you, I don't want to call it love, because maybe that hasn't been established yet, or they're not sure what to call it, but there's this lingering feeling there, like no matter where they are, no matter how far they go, you're always going to be a part of them. And I think that they have a lot of hopes that things will turn around for a fresh start, but they're going to keep going their own way because they can't force this connection, and they can't force something to happen that's either not presenting themselves, that's not presenting itself, like an opportunity is not presenting itself, or they feel like they've tried and it hasn't worked. And it's not that they're not open to it in the future, it's just that they're not trying anymore because they felt like they were getting nowhere. And so maybe for some of you, if this person used to show you more interest and show you more attention and that stopped, it's probably because they feel like their energy is being wasted. And yeah, this is kind of a heavy reading, pile one, I'm not gonna lie. So maybe for some of you, this is somebody that you're not interested in, or for others, this could be somebody that, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but both of you maybe were too afraid to lay your cards out on the table. But I'm definitely intrigued to see pile two, because usually when I say something like that, like pile two, it'll come out. It'll come out. The proof is always in the pudding. But what we're going to do now is I am going to get channeled messages from them and see what they want to say to you. And then I am going to get channeled messages from your guides and see what they want to say to you. So to start, Spirit, what does pile one's person, okay, what do they want to say? So the first thing that they want to say is that they've been keeping an eye out for you. So, oh my God, yes, and this is actually a new deck, so I don't know all of the cards in here yet, but the upside down things make sense. Like, I think one thing that this person feels is a kinship towards you, and I think that that's why they can't really fully let go of this connection, is like, they feel like there's really something deeper there, and they refuse to believe that, like, this was just meant to be something casual or just friends. Like, I heard something very spicy. I'm going to save it for the extended because it's very spicy. But if you've been physically intimate with this person, buckle up. But I'm just as weird as you are. You know, they really feel like you two are kindred spirits. And I feel like they've been hoping... They definitely see if you check up on them, like in terms of like, do you like if you're on each other's social media, like they probably look at your social media or look out for your social media or look to see that you're looking at theirs. Yeah, they may be looking for you in their world. I feel the connection too, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take this one because this is like most of the deck, but I'm going to take this top one. But I guess I took the other ones on one underneath, so I'll take that as well. So yeah, I feel this connection too, and you are magical to me. So yeah, this person is saying like, look what connects you guys, the red string of fate. So I do feel like whatever's going on with you and this person, it will all happen as it's meant to be. I think one big thing here with the yellow heart is that the way that you feel about yourselves is not good right now. I'm calling you both out. This is a read. With peace and love, this is a read. That maybe one of the things that really hindered this connection was the fact that both of you maybe struggled with your self-esteem and probably assumed that the other either wasn't interested in them or like probably felt like maybe you weren't good enough for each other, or like... I feel like there's just a lot of misunderstanding and miscommunication here, and a lot of fear as well. But I feel like this person sees you as very magical, and I would see why, because like the fact that they've had so much spiritual awareness because of you, yeah, they really feel like you are magical. But yeah, I'm afraid I will hurt you, and I feel like we're in different dimensions. And on the back of the deck, don't let someone come between us. So yeah, maybe there are people in the background that have like affected this connection in a negative way. Like maybe they were in one another's ears, like saying shit that wasn't true. Yeah, this person also may be afraid that they can't give you what you want yet. For some of you, this person definitely could have been the one to walk away because they're not in a good place. But I do feel like it's going to depend, because this is a general reading, one or the other. But yeah, I do feel like you and this person are like in different worlds, but still trying to see each other's energy. And yeah, and even like the dimensions, like I feel like one of you is in a lighter place than the other. Or they're just in the dark about you, and that's why your side of the screen was so dark. But let's go ahead and see what your guides want to say now and what advice they have for you. So I've never used this deck in a romantic video or a love video before, so it's mine. I made it, but I don't know if it's going to work well, so bear with me. This is kind of a test. So Spirit, okay, we're gonna take that. So the first message that we have is, you cannot understand our unconditional love for you if your heart is blocked. So this is your guides telling you how much they love you. And I also am kind of channeling that this connection is still very important. Not in the sense of like for some of you, it's going to depend on a on the 3D, how impactful this connection is, like moving forward. Not forever, but just speaking within like the next couple months, because I'm not looking at like super far out. But I think one thing that Spirit is saying is that you're not going to be able to understand how this person could unconditionally love you, which I don't think that they're necessarily unconditionally loving, because I think they're learning that too, if your heart is blocked. And I think that Spirit is saying, if you can't even understand how much we love you, it's hard for you to be open to another connection. And I do feel like this person, while they definitely had feelings for you, they probably definitely felt like you were blocked off, or you were blocking them off. Maybe you literally blocked them. Could have had a good reason. I don't know what it is. But, oh, and I forgot to say with this, don't let someone come between us. Like, you know, that's just their side. Do you, boo. Like, do whatever you want. But let's see what else Spirit wants to say. So, Spirit, what do you want to say to pile 1, please? What is important that they know at this time? Okay, that's enough. So we also have, we learn more through our failures than we do our victories. So yeah, I do feel like this connection in both of your eyes was a failure in some way. And I think what Spirit wants you to understand is that you both have probably learned a lot. And no matter what this connection is meant to be moving forward, or how it will play out, this connection has taught you both a lot, and I think that's really important. We also have, you already know the answer. So I feel like if you're in separation with this person, or this is somebody that you ended things with, for some of you, I feel like in your heart, you know what the answer is for this connection. Like, either like, we will figure it out, we will come back together, I don't know how, I'm just trusting the divine, I'm trusting that this will happen. Or you're like, yep, been there, done that, don't want to see this person anymore, and I know what the answer is for me. But Spirit is essentially saying, trust whatever you feel in your heart for this connection, because it is a general reading, and for some of you, you're going to be not interested, and for others, this is somebody that you care very deeply about. So do what works best for you. But we also have mind over matter. And I think that this is really important, because Spirit is essentially saying the way that you see yourself and this person and the world dictates how you go about it. And I think that Spirit is saying that you have more power over your mindset and over how you see yourself in different situations, and that you actually have more control than you realize in terms of how you like talk to yourself and how you see this connection. Because I think energetically, you and this person may slow this connection down, from the sense that maybe you get caught like ruminating over this connection, or being pessimistic or negative and thinking that nothing will come of it. So I think Spirit is just asking you to not let your mind stop you from feeling your truth. Okay, we also have we know. So this is a Skyrim reference, obviously. Well, not obviously for all of you, but just for those of you who don't know. But I like to take it. This is from the Dark Brotherhood. And I do feel like, you know, there's I'm just as weird as you are. And I do feel like there's this kinship. Like you both are like maybe dark, or I mean, like you did choose The Nightmare Before Christmas, even though it's a very heartwarming story. I feel like you both are just weird. Like, and there's this inner knowing, like you're part of the same like tribe or like soul tribe. For some of you, like this could definitely be something even deeper, like just a really deep spiritual connection. And I almost, I like how it's similar to that ripe fruits, but this is your guide's version of saying, we know how you feel, like we know everything. We know more than you actually. But what you have to understand is you already know the answer, and we know. So trust us when we are guiding you, because we're trying to give you guidance, and then your mind makes you doubt us. So trust that we know, we've heard your prayers, we've heard. But you have to understand that like the way that we do things, the way that things happen up in the spiritual world. Okay, actually, perfect. The last card is the root chakra. So we're going to talk about for a second, while it's coming through me right now, how your guides actually work when they're putting this all together. Divine timing is not set in stone. It's not like a calendar where you can be like, pile one and their person, they're going to get together on December 2nd. I don't know why, that was just a random date. That it doesn't work that way. You might, I mean, but it's not, it doesn't work that way. Divine timing is created through your actions and your person's actions. And you can't control how your person acts. All you can focus on is how you act. And so you have to understand that like your guides, they have a lot less power in the physical world. And it's also important to them that they respect your free will. They're never going to interfere with your free will. That's why it's better for you to ask for help from them, because they are much more present and willing to help when you ask, because they don't want to mess with your free will. But also, what they want you to understand is that the physical world is different than the spiritual world, and it's not as easy to just make things happen. You know, the way energy moves is really fast, and things can get done really quickly, like up in the spiritual realms, because energy moves at the speed of light. But down here, you know, we're bound by the physical constraints. You know, we're bound by gravity, and we're bound by lots of different things. And so what Spirit wants you to understand is that every single little action that you and this person take creates your path, and they have to be consistently like forging your path. Meanwhile, your person's guides, they're helping forge their path. They're conferring with their guides, and they're trying their best. But at the same time, you have free will. So at any time, you can just decide, like, I don't want anything to do with this connection anymore, and walk away. Well, now your guys have to create something completely new. And so now they're working on that new. You go down this path for a little bit, and you're like, shit, I need this person. And your guys are like, okay, well, we need to redirect that. So they're literally like playing a massive game of chess, where they can't like physically move the pieces. They have to like make suggestions to the pieces, because the pieces are sentient and doing their own things, and there's kind of no rules. It's kind of chaos, because the rules of the laws are you know, different. But essentially what I'm trying to say is that if you think your end is hard work, you should see what they do. And I know that sounds like ungrateful. And listen, they love you so much. They're so happy to do it. It's their job. They literally signed up for it. That's what they're here to do. And they know that being on Earth is not easy. But they also want you to understand that sometimes it's really hard to watch you and understand that you don't see how amazing you are. Because they see you in all your greatness. They see you in all your potential. They know your soul. They know how beautiful you are. They know how amazing you are. They're your guides. They love you and adore you. And so when you go down different paths, they're always working in your highest favor. That's why you have free will. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter what you signed up for, what you planned on. You have free will. You can do whatever the hell you want. It's about what you want, because your guides are going to try to give you what's in your highest good. And that's why it's so important to trust them and trust that they are guiding you, because your mind can trick you so much into just talking you out of things, and it's insane. Like, our brains, as a person who studied the brain, like, it's freaky how easily your brain can be manipulated, and how you can convince yourself of things. And I mean, take it for example, like, you know, when you have like bad mental health weeks and you're just gone offline for like, you know, a week, a month, a while, and you get back on and it's like that awareness is back. But sometimes when you're deep in it, you don't even have that awareness that it's even there. You know what I mean? So I guess what your guides are trying to get you to understand is that just because you can't see how they're doing things or the method to their madness, know that there's something deeper, and it is all out of love, even if you can't see it. Because I do think, you know, guides give guidance in the form of tough love sometimes. And what do we say here? We learn more through our failures than we do our victories. And so what your guides are getting you to understand is that just because there have been failures in the past doesn't mean there won't be victories in the future. But I feel like what your guides want you to understand is that they will do your best to give you what is in your highest good, but that also requires your cooperation and your willingness to work with them and trust them, and trust what they're saying to you, and trust your own judgment. Don't allow your brain to throw you off the path, you know what I mean? And it's okay if you do, because the beautiful thing is that you can change direction and change directions as much as you want. Your guides are still going to be working in your highest good, but what they ask is that you stay patient with them, because in order to give you what is best for you, they need time to cultivate that. They need time to, you know, bring certain people in. They need time to reconfigure things, you know. They are always working in your highest good. Think of them as like literally your personal wingmen that are just trying to give you the best ride on earth possible. This, of course, you know, no ride's going to come without its highs and lows, but they're going to be there for you through all of it, and they are there for you through all of it. But they just want you to understand that, like, you know, they understand how hard this is, and they love you so much, and they want you to understand that they're not just sitting there watching you do your own thing. Like, they're actively, you know, trying to do what's best for you, and they're guides. They're kind of busy, but they love you. But on the back of the deck, we have, you are in alignment when you speak your authentic truth, and when your fire dies, relight it by doing what makes you feel passionate. So this makes a lot of sense that it would be on the back of the deck, because neither of you know what your authentic truths are. That's what or if you do, you haven't spoken them. So Spirit is saying whatever your truth is about this situation, about this person, and whatever your truth is in general, when you're authentic about it and you speak it out loud, you get closer to it. And so I think Spirit is asking you to embrace that. But also, I think that neither people in this connection have maybe come forward with their authentic truths with one another. And maybe that's why this connection is not in alignment. But I definitely felt the energy right off the bat that this connection wasn't in alignment, starting with the fact that both of your cards are in reverse. But I think Spirit is saying, you know, if you want this connection to be in alignment, you both have to be willing to be upfront with one another and speak your truths. And if one of you does it and the other, that won't work, unfortunately. So it has to be both of you. So, you know, if you're in that situation and the other person isn't willing to open up, you know, that's not your fault. That's them. That's their personal decision. Obviously, you have to respect it. But, you know, just accepting things with love, with peace and love is probably the best way to go about it. But just trust that your guides are working in your highest good, and they want to give you what's best for you. And if this is not what's best for you, they are not going to put this on your path. But if you know in your heart that this is something that's meant for you, then man, keep going, man. Keep going. If you know it in your heart. Spirit's saying, we know, you know, I know it, you know it, everybody knows it. Except this person. Yeah, you both know a lot except about each other. It's like, yeah, you guys are kind of have blind spots for each other. I think you get very nervous. But pile one, I am going to leave this reading here. I feel like I kind of got off the rails with channeling there, but hopefully that was helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching my ads. That is the simplest, well, me and my ads, that is the simplest and easiest way to support me. But if you want to support me in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how you enjoyed it. You can go check out the extended. We are going to be looking at your person's sexual feelings for you. But if not, if you're leaving me here, thank you so much for being here in general. If you want to subscribe, feel free, but if not, no pressure. If you do subscribe, maybe you want to click that little bell notification to be notified whenever I upload a new reading or a new video. Other than that, I think that's all I have to say. So I hope you'll have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 2. Thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Black Line Tarot and the little Amethyst Angel, this is going to be... shit. Okay, well, all right. I can probably grab her with my toe. One sec. All right, for practicality purposes, we're just going to put her there. But I'm not going to lie, Pile 2, if you felt drawn to Pile 1, you may want to check that out as well. I accidentally said Pile 2 in Pile 1's reading, so if this is hitting, you may want to check out the other one as well, because there was something talking about a falling angel in that deck, and this angel fell due to my own idiocy, but still, there's no such things as coincidences, right? I mean, I guess if you believe that. Anyway, so what we're going to do is a bit different from what I normally do in these readings. We're looking at your person's feelings, and typically what I do is like a connection check to see what's going on between the both of you. But what I actually want to do is look at everything from your person's perspective. So I want to see how they're seeing themselves, how they're seeing the connection, and how they're seeing you, so that we can kind of understand where their feelings are coming from and understand why they might be seeing things the way they are. So if you find the description of yourself to be inaccurate, it's probably because it's from their perspective and not from like spirits or your perspective. So we're gonna start by looking now, seeing how they view the connection. So your person views the connection with the third house and the throat chakra, listening, and then how this person views themselves. So we have the spider, we have gentle, we have mute, and we have the empty room. And then as for how your person sees you, we have the horse, we have the mirror, we have spider in reverse, and we have authentic. So I lost my mind when I shuffled these cards, because I don't think I've ever had like such a physical reaction to pulling cards before. Typically when it comes to pulling oracles, I have like maybe an idea, but I don't really digest what's going on in a pile until I actually read it. So I was shuffling these, and the spider card like flew out in reverse, and I was like, oh shit, like, because I'd already shuffled that spider card, so I knew there was this. I was like, damn, double spiders. And then I shuffled this mirror card, and I just went oof. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Pile 2, your person, oof. And I don't mean this in like a bad, like, they're going through it, like, and not just they are, but that like they have been. They're getting better, but like, oof. Okay, you're gonna understand a lot with this reading. When I shuffled these, I was just like, holy shit, this is so necessary. Okay, so let's talk about how your person sees themselves. So we have this spider card here, and I don't think that this person thinks very highly of themselves. I think that they see themselves as very small, very insignificant, little. And what's interesting is, right off the bat, I do want to say that they see you as much bigger than them. But ironically, I don't think that that is like, it could be physically, but I almost feel like the situations like physically are switched. This is more of an energetic thing, so take it that way. This person sees you as unstoppable, as like this insanely talented, gifted, authentic human who's just reliable, solid, gets their shit done. You know, thinking of those horse TikToks where they let go of the reins and they know how to go back home. Like, they see you as somebody very responsible. They see you as somebody just literally like unstoppable, probably very physically attractive. They might really like your hair, or they might think that you're very in tune, like with the spiritual realm. They may not even necessarily know how much they believe in the spiritual realm, if I'm being honest. But here's why I went oof when I shuffled these cards. They see you as the mirror. And the reason why that is because this connection has not been very easy for them, especially from the start. Because the fact that they see you so highly, and then at the same time they're seeing you as a mirror, not only have you shattered a lot of illusions that maybe their ego told them, or just things that were told to them by others, or things that they just believed to be true. Not only were things like that shattered, but you also held up a mirror to them and essentially showed them every single insecurity they have about themselves. And let me be clear, you didn't do this intentionally. You did this by existing, by being your authentic self. And that, it just felt like oof, it's like, you know, when you're watching like videos of people like getting hurt and you're just like, this is what this literally feels like. Because this person, they're pulling themselves out, but yeah, they've really gone through it. They exist from a place of lack, if I'm gonna be honest. And one thing that this card talks about, like, think of your person as a hungry ghost that never gets fulfilled. Everything, like, nothing is enough for this person. But I also think that's partially because the things that would be enough for them are very scary. They've kind of had to, and I will give this person credit. They are a very hard worker, and that's one thing that they admire about you. But they themselves, they have had to do it all on their own. They've really had to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and get their shit together on their own. And they're still getting their shit together. And I feel like when they met you, they assumed that your shit was already together, or they viewed you as having it together. And they've only seen you progress since then. So it's even more intimidating to them. I don't feel like this person is talking to you right now. I mean, the fact that we have the mute card here, and based on the energies I saw in the first pile, like I've said, they seem very similar. I would suggest checking out that pile. If not, I think that this person maybe just hasn't spoken their truth to you yet, because it is interesting what we have going on here, and I will get into that because this is a lot about communication. So for some of you, you definitely are talking to this person, but for a lot of you, I feel like maybe this communication is more through spirit and more like 5D based. But this person is learning how to be kinder to themselves. And what's really awesome is I think they learned that from you. Because we have this pink authentic card, and then we have this pink kind of coming in with the gentle. I think that this person is slowly but surely learning how to let in lighter energies. This person is very calculated. And what's really interesting is that because this person sees so much of themselves in you, they kind of assumed that you were or are, depending on where your connection is, just as calculated and cunning as they are. To the point where they're overly suspicious of you. But at the same time, it's like they know they have no reason to be suspicious. But with this spider card here in reverse, it's like they know there's a kinship between you two, but they're so afraid of that familiarity and how that feels. And they see you and they're like, they might trap me in their web. They might they almost feel like, you know, they're a spider. I'm a spider. I know the spider games. Like, I'm not going to be a fly. I'm not going to get caught in a web. You know, I'm not going to be... Oh my gosh, I just heard I'm not going to let someone put their balls in my purse. Oh my God. So some of y'all have a, this person has a bit of a, like, ego going on. But that's okay. That's okay. We all got one. But I think that the problem is that this person operates from a place of lack and they don't know how to feel fulfilled. And on top of mute, I think that either there's somebody that controls them, in the sense that they could be under somebody else's control for some of you, which sounds kind of dark. I don't think that's for all of you though. For a lot of you, I feel like this could maybe be their friend group or the people around them. They maybe care a lot more about how they fit in with that group, or fitting in with that group, than revealing their true self. They're maybe afraid of like what the people around them might think, or maybe they are just feeling mute because they are afraid to be honest about how they feel. Maybe they're afraid to be honest with themselves about what's going on in their life. There's honestly a lot of different interpretations for this, but I feel like the biggest thing is that they're just not being upfront with you. They're not being very like, genuinely, I feel like for a lot of you, like they're tied up and they're not talking to you. They're tied up, they're kind of being shut down, they're being silenced. Maybe they literally feel like physically blocked from communicating with you for whatever reason. But there is a deep, deep, empty void in their soul that has been there long before you met them. But it was covered up much easier before they met you. And once they did, there was a lot of things that they were no longer able to deny, and that became very uncomfortable. There is a bit of, how do I word this? Sometimes they wonder if you're just an illusion in general, like with the mirror card being here, because this mirror serves in more ways than one. They wonder if the authenticity is fake, because this person is so calculated, is so cunning, that they are always thinking, like, you know, the third house is Gemini energy, and I just feel like they are just always thinking 2, 3, 4 steps ahead. And you both are like being shown as earth signs here. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, don't have to be, but could have those placements. And if you think about, like, if you were gonna watch a horse and a spider fight, like, it's kind of no contest, right? Like, a horse is gonna kick the spider's ass, and like just one little clip clop and, oh, sorry, they're gone. The clip clop would go here, not on them. But like, the point of this is that because this is energy, like I said, not physically, your energy is so overpowering to this person. It's like all they can do is hold on to like what little shit they have to hold on to. Like, and I don't mean literally, but just like energetically, what they have keeping them together. You're incredibly triggering to them. And they can't help but like, you've already illuminated so much, and actually your presence has helped them weave their own web. Like, they started out with nothing, and I think that they had maybe a little bit of a web when they met you or something like that, but it's kind of, they've been growing and they've been using you as like a muse or an inspiration. But they don't feel comfortable with the effect that you have on them, to be truthful. This person is very like free-spirited. Also, this empty room can also talk about instability and addiction. So it's possible that this person maybe hasn't told you about things that they struggle with in private, and that maybe makes them feel even more worthless or even more like not appropriate for you. Like they don't want to weigh you down in some way. But the way that they look at the connection is really, really interesting, because they're mute, but they're listening. So it's possible that they are, for some of you, they could quite literally be getting guidance about this connection because they've recognized that there's something weird going on here. I mean, the mirror card being here, this has to be some type of like, it could be divine, it could be karmic. For all of you, it could be different. But you were clearly brought into this person's life to shine a light on the fact that they were not where they needed to be in life. And I don't mean that in like a in a milestone way, in a monetary way, but just in the sense that they weren't even seeing their own truth. And I think that they're still uncomfortable with it. I don't think that they've fully gotten there yet. They're still kind of digesting it. Maybe you and this person communicate through text, but maybe don't communicate in person. But for others, I feel like you both get messages. And what's interesting is, like, you know, we have all these hieroglyphics here. The Eye of Horus could be significant, but I can't, like, remember off the top of my head what the Eye of Horus means. I've been up for, like, 16 hours, so be nice to me. Anyway, they want to talk to you. Like, they want the truth about this connection. I feel like maybe they write their truth a lot. They want to understand this connection. And I feel like instead of listening about it from you, because you may have more awareness than they do, they're trying to get it from themselves, and they're trying to get it from the universe, which truthfully I think is the best way to go about it, because they don't trust you. And I don't mean that in, like, a bad way. Like you've done something to make them mistrust you. I don't think you've done anything at all. They view you as very solid and very reliable. But I think that, one, they're afraid of their vision of you changing. If they did trust you, like I said, they are very afraid. And two, I think that the people in their lives have proved to them that they can't trust people. And so as a result, this is just kind of one of the things that has been like a coping, like they just, as a way to protect themselves, they don't trust anyone. And so even though they see you as authentic, they're not sure if they can trust their own judgment. So because they feel like they can't trust their own judgment, they don't really say anything, and they don't move forward, because they do see you as somebody very special, and they do see you as someone that holds a lot of power over them. You know, like I was saying, if a horse was, like, your energy beats the shit out of their energy every time they're around you, which is probably why they maybe don't come around you very often or don't talk to you very often. And you shouldn't feel bad. This is not your fault. You're amazing. But the problem is that, like, you might be like, what's wrong with me? Like, what am I doing? And it's like literally nothing. You're just being yourself. And that's too much for this person, because there may be something deeper, like a soul tie there or something, where they feel like that kindred energy. They feel resonance with you, and that's very uncomfortable. But also, it's like every time they're around you, the messages that aren't clear to them become loud and clear. Like the things that they do need to work on, the things that they should be doing, the things that they aren't doing, the things that they feel guilty about, the things that make them uncomfortable, it all comes to the surface. It's like all of their insecurities are built into you, and unintentionally you trigger all of them. And like, they don't really know what to do there. So they're kind of just waiting for guidance, but they see this, they get information about this connection all the time, either through like shit like tarot readings, or their own guidance, or from hearing about other people, talking to other people, or maybe just talking to you. Maybe this is like, maybe I could see as well, maybe this person like reads old messages of yours between each other, or they watch your social media. They like look at your social media for messages if you have that, or just like signs that you might be thinking of them, or just like signs of what's going on. They definitely keep up with you, but I feel like they are kind of in their own little world trying to create something better for themselves. And I think because they're in kind of a fragile state and they're trying to be gentle with themselves, your energy is like their energy is as delicate as a daffodil, and your energy is like a freight train. And I don't mean that as in like you're overbearing, but it's just that your light is so much bigger. This person is only learning how to work with their energy, be open to their energy. They're only starting to recognize that they feel lack. You know what I mean? Think about yourself when you first started your spiritual journey, or before you started your spiritual journey, because I don't even know if this person is on a spiritual journey. I just think that they're just more aware of themselves now because of you. But you do give off a very heavy like spiritual energy, in the sense that like you're doing really well for yourself, you're confident, you're not afraid to be yourself. And that's a lot for somebody who has been existing in a more inauthentic place and struggles with that. So let's go ahead and see how they are really feeling for you. Because I can tell, yeah, your energy is not easy, and it definitely makes more sense if you felt drawn to pile one. It does kind of feel like these energies, vice versa, and it makes a lot of sense, but I could be wrong, you know, don't need to be right. So we are using the Black Line Tarot, and I don't really have much else to say other than that, but I do have to shuffle these damn cards. I know some people want me to shuffle on camera like longer, but I always feel so weird because I don't really know what to say. It literally feels like, you know how you feel when you're like hanging out with a friend and your friend's like, you know, parents or like their family's around and you don't know their family very well, and your friend like leaves to do something for like a couple minutes or something, and I don't know, maybe just introverts feel this, but just like the sheer panic of being alone with people that like you don't know, and it's like, well, like, what the fuck do you say? That's how I feel when I'm shuffling the cards and I don't have anything to say. I'm like, so pile two, you like jazz? Like, I don't know. Okay, but we're gonna go ahead and see what we have to say. Spirit's asking me to take this card that flopped out. So the Seven of Pentacles, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. All right, Spirit, let's start. How is pile two's person? How are they feeling about pile two? Okay, we're gonna take the Four of Cups, but we're not gonna take anything else. How else are they feeling for pile two, Spirit? Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. All right, we're gonna get a clarifier for the Seven of Swords because I want to know what's up with that. But we're gonna shuffle them all first. Okay. Six of Swords, Six of Cups. That already makes more sense, so I may not need to get clarifiers. Okay. One more, Spirit. Eight of Swords. Yeah, there we go. All right, can you clarify Seven of Swords for me, please, Spirit? Can you clarify Seven of Swords for me, please? Knight of Pentacles. Okay. And on the back of the deck, we have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, your person is really, like, actually, we have so many sevens here. So 777 could be a significant number, or just sevens in general. Yeah, actually, I think we have all 4 sevens here. So that's interesting. Let's go ahead and look at your oracles now. So to start, we have overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. We have harvest, a gathering of blessings. Ah, come on, get under there, please, please. Okay, well, maybe that was like way easier and I should have just done that. Okay, we're gonna cover her face, sorry guys. Okay, let's see what else we have. We have perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. We have music, and we have a woman holding a coin, which I think is interesting. We have 42, 43, and 44. So we also have puppet and service. Okay, I'm hearing the song from the Cheetah Girls, Cinderella. Interesting. Okay, so how this person is feeling about you, and really what's interesting is that it's less so about how they feel about you and more about how they feel about themselves and how you make them feel about like life in general. they're definitely reflecting on your connection a lot. And maybe if you've been feeling their energy very heavily lately, because here's the thing, like I definitely felt parallels to pile 1 and pile 2, and I definitely feel like this is like more separation type energy. It certainly doesn't have to be, but I feel like this person is definitely in a mode of reflection, and this doesn't really feel like their current feelings, but it more so feels like how where they currently stand in your connection and in the situation. Because this person is acknowledging, either they're acknowledging that they did something shady in the past that messed this connection up, or they have a lot of fears about opening up to this connection and being betrayed. They have a fear of betrayal in general. There's definitely a lack of balance here. But the fact that we have so many 6s and 7s, and there's a lot of progressing energy. And I think that's positive, because one thing I will say is that you inspire this person. You inspire them to keep going. You inspire them to want more, and you inspire them to weave their web, quite literally. I feel like this person is really bored or dissatisfied without you, but at the same time, they're not necessarily ready to come forward yet. And so they kind of just look back and they reflect on your times together. And I feel like they just feel grateful for that in of itself. And they recognize that there was something there, that there was the potential for something more, that there was the potential for something there to build. And either they didn't progress it to the Knight of Pentacles here. They didn't take that pentacle you were offering and build on it. They may have kind of slyly run away in the night, or maybe they ghosted you, or maybe they, for some of you, maybe they like just came across like this was something more, and then all of a sudden they switched. They could have had very hot and cold energy. Or this person is acknowledging that they see something, they recognize that there could be something more here, but they're very afraid of committing themselves to that. Maybe both for some of you. But with the 6 of Swords and the 6 of Cups, I feel like this person really wants to move beyond the past of what happened here, like really badly. And maybe for some of you, if you're at a distance, they may want to come see you or you see them. But they recognize that even just doing that, they would have to talk to you. They would have to open up to you. And they feel very trapped. The 6 of Cups is always, to me, like a soulmate card. And I think that this person recognizes they have a lot of really sweet feelings for you. And truthfully, if I would say, if we could keep things pure, like their pure feelings for you, it would be the 6 of Cups. And I think with this 43 overflow card, not 43 cards, this overflow, and harvest, gathering of blessings, overwhelm and plenty, we saw that this person feels like an empty room. And you feel like your abundance. You're literally the opposite of what they are. And that's a lot. And they feel like they can't give you anything. And so it's almost like they have to focus on themselves and focus on growing, because if they're to even be enough for you in their eyes, they need to be more. I also think there's a lot about their childhood that they're trying to move forward from. But there's a lot of harvesting energy here. Like they want to reap the benefits of this connection. But with the puppet here, they are definitely afraid of being manipulated. Maybe they've been manipulated in the past. Maybe they recognize that maybe they manipulated you in the past, and they're afraid that maybe you'll try to give them a taste of their own medicine. But I think more than anything, they're just afraid of being used, because they, I think, would do anything for you, and that freaks them out. And so they don't want to do anything at all to even open that up, because they could easily, because you could easily have them wrapped around your finger if they were vulnerable at all. But they don't want to be vulnerable. But what I noticed with the 7 of Swords and the 6 of Swords coming out like this, you know, taking one sword away, that would be the Ace of Swords. And I do think that they've gotten clarity on their past, on this situation. And I think that they are recognizing now that maybe they acted a bit irrationally. But the thing is that they don't know how to move forward. Because with this clarity, so see what's interesting is the 7 and the 6 and the 8. So with that extra sword, they kind of create the 8 of swords instead of the 6 of swords. Because they're very afraid of facing what happened between you two. And they're very afraid of facing what this connection could be. Because with the 7 of Wands and the 7 of Cups, I feel like, first of all, they are not sure what is real and what's not. Like, what feelings of theirs are real and what feelings are not. I think they're very confused. I feel like this connection in general is very confusing. But with the 7 of Wands here, I feel like they're almost like a deer. Like, they're very scared, like in any sudden movement. And they're almost worried that if they came forward, you would be on offense and they would kind of be on defense. And they might feel like they're being attacked in other ways as well. I feel like this person's self-esteem is really, really low. And so, like, even the smallest thing feels like an attack to them, even if it's just like, oh, you tie your shoes weird. Like, they'll like go home and be like, oh my God, like, pile 2 thinks I'm so stupid because I tie my shoes differently. Like, they are kind of dramatic. I'm not gonna lie. It's Leo energy for sure. With peace and love to my Leos. It's Leo season soon. But yeah, with the devil and justice, this all fits. Like, they want to balance things out between you. Like, they want to be more here, but it's like they literally want to gouge their eyes out, because seeing the truth of you, seeing the truth of them, seeing the truth of this connection is brutal. And I think right now they might be dealing with like karmic justice, where somebody is doing that to them, like betraying them. But I think overall with the devil card here, it's like they're restraining themselves, because they do feel the intensity of this connection. They do feel a deep level of emotion for you, but they're not sure if they can trust it, and they're very afraid of moving towards it. I feel like they see you as somebody, even if you're not a woman, they see you as somebody very solid, very abundant, somebody in a much better standing than they are. And also, I feel like they see you as somebody who like knows more than they do. Maybe you do, maybe you're just smarter, but maybe you know more about the connection, or you know more about spirituality, or you know more about self-improvement than they do. They see you as somebody so kind and giving, but they almost like they don't want you to be kind and giving towards them, because they're too proud. They want to be that way towards you, but they can't do that because they're very afraid of you taking advantage of them and manipulating them. And that might be hurtful for you to hear, because I feel like for a lot of you that's nowhere near your intentions, and you would never do something like that. But you have to understand that's their past experiences, and they're just projecting that onto you. Because they see you as a massive blessing, and they see you as a blessing that they don't deserve, or that they can't have right now, because they either need to figure themselves out, or they need to face something that they're too afraid to face. Like, oh my God, a perfect example, you know how like when you're in school, like high school, for example, some of y'all are in high school, which with peace and love, pretend like you're older. You know how you be in school and like you get in trouble. Maybe I'm exposing myself as a bad high school. Like you get in trouble or something like that, and like you'd have to have like a meeting or something, but it wasn't until like the end of the day, and so you just have to sit there and suffer the entire day because you knew you had to face something later that you really didn't want to do. Or like for sports, for example, like maybe y'all lost, or one of y'all fucked up and was like late, and so everybody has to run laps, and you guys are like dreading it because you know your coach is just gonna like destroy you at the end of the day, and they're gonna be mad at you. Which, side note, completely unrelated to this reading, coaches, so many coaches are like problematic and horrible. Shout out to the good coaches out there that actually encourage children instead of screaming at them, because the way adults treat children over sports games is ridiculous. Anyway, you know, maybe this person does have childhood trauma, like around like being screamed at or something like that. but they literally like feel that way about facing the situation. And so it's kind of like they're running. But also by running from you, they run from themselves. So be aware of that. Because you showing up as the mirror, it's like it's like the answers that they're looking for are found within you. But in order to find those, they have to face you. So it's kind of like they lose no matter what, and so they're just not moving. They don't know what to do. They've kind of like locked themselves in. They know how precious you are. They know how great you are. They know deep down, they know it, but their brain is gonna say, wait a minute, we felt this way before, or we felt similarly before. I don't think they've felt this way about anyone else before, but I do think that they have felt romantic feelings before. And I do think that they have been hurt in the past. And I think that they have been resigning themselves to just being alone because it's more peaceful. But your energy never leaves them. In fact, sometimes they get really uncomfortable because they almost... Once again, I'm getting like a lot of like alcohol imagery. So I do feel like this person uses substances to kind of numb their feelings for you. Sometimes it may get really bad when the moon is in certain phases, I heard. So maybe this person's like a Cancer rising or something, like they're affected by the moon. But maybe just Cancer placements in general. But really what I think this person is like feeling is just a lot of like, not necessarily remorse or regret, because I think they do feel that, but at the same time, it's like they're trying to be gentle with themselves. So they're not like being hard with themselves, because I think that you've illuminated that aspect. Like they've learned that from you somehow, to be nicer to themselves. But it's a process. They're starting from somewhere, but it's still small. And with this music card here, though, they do see you as like a muse. You could share music together. You could communicate through music. This person could be writing music about you, or like making music about you. This person could be really passionate about their music, and maybe that's what they're working on. Maybe your voice is music to their ears. We did have listening. Or this person could be using music. We did have listening. So this person could be using music to kind of understand their feelings for you. Like they may be able to better understand their feelings by listening to songs and hearing specific lyrics that just hit right. And they're like, yeah, like that's it. So yeah, I think that this person... they know your worth. They see how amazing you are. They have deep feelings for you. They recognize there's something more here, but they're just going through it. And they're learning how to get out of this lack mindset. And I think, you know, it's interesting with them being the Eight of Swords, they got to get rid of Two Swords. And the Two of Swords is indecision. So I feel like they have yet to make a decision about this connection. But something tells me with this Justice card and this Devil card being here, they kind of won't have a choice eventually. They will have to. Oh, Justice, what do you want to see? Nine of Cups, yeah. So they may make a wish for something. They may start figuring out what's fulfilling them. We have all those tentacles here. But because I do think they wish for this to balance out, but they can't see the way forward. In fact, it's kind of gruesome for them to think about like even opening themselves up again. They're very afraid. But at the same time, they know that they're better, and that they see you as somebody that can like help them grow. They see you as somebody very valuable, and they don't think that they're valuable enough for you. They feel like they need to be better. And I feel like that's really sad. But at the same time, you know, if that's their prerogative to believe that, pile two, and honestly, maybe they're right. You know, you got to do what's best for you, boo. But what we're going to do now is Damn, I just realized how cryptic it was for me to be like, maybe they're right, maybe you are too good for them. That's so bitchy. I don't like, maybe y'all have some sassy, no, that's not a guide, that's definitely an ancestor coming through. So yeah, your ancestors are probably saying, you know, do what's best for you. Don't compromise your integrity, don't compromise your worth. They want what's best for you. And if it's not your ancestors, it's definitely just your person's energy being very self-deprecating, because they seem to be very good at that. But yeah, we're gonna get some channel messages from them and see what they want to say to you. But I guess within saying that, obviously, like, you have free will, do what you want. But you know, when someone sees you as sees very highly, puts you on a pedestal, and they see you as better than them, that's an imbalance. And in pursuing that, if they don't really view you as an equal, it's kind of hard to go about things. But like I said, that you guys are equals. It's just this person being irrational, and maybe you're irrational too. Maybe you put this person on a pedestal, and so that's a great example of where you both need to like come back down to earth and recognize that you both are still just human. But yeah, do what you want, but recognize your own worth and don't settle for less. That's all I'm saying. Okay, let's get some channel messages from them now and see. Spirit, what does pile 2's person, what do they want to say to pile 2? What messages? What could they say? What would they say if they were being completely... Jesus, okay. Okay, I see right through the lies you tell yourself, and you're probably like, yeah, right back at you, bitch. Like, there's some contention here. It's like kind of interesting. I feel the connection too. This came out in the last pile, so all I'm saying is that I swear to God they're connected. I swear to spirit they're connected. I swear to science they're connected. I have to tell you how I feel. Yes, this person wants to tell you, and I'd wish we'd reconnect. Yeah, oh my God. Okay. Ooh, I have a surprise for you. So yeah, maybe they are coming forward with something. And on the back of the deck, we have, I'm thinking about you right now. And I pushed this over without trying, but I think Spirit wanted you to see it. And it says, you are changing me. So I think what Spirit wants you to know is that you're a lot more special to this person and in general than you realize. I just want to be boring with you. Yeah, I feel like you and this person maybe spent a lot of time together, like, maybe not all of you, but for some of you, I'm picking up that like you and this person maybe like watched a lot of movies together, or just like kind of had lazy days together, or like Netflix and chilled or something. But yeah, this person really enjoys like, which is interesting because I was getting a party vibe. So maybe y'all partied hard and then recovered after. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's like this person, they can't stop thinking about you. They want to be with you. They want to tell you what's going on. But at the same time, and maybe the surprise for you is that they want to come back in. Maybe they want to reconnect. Maybe they want to... yeah, maybe they'll surprise you. One thing that I'm hearing from Spirit is that you shouldn't have any expectations towards this person, but at the same time, recognize that if you feel feel such a way about them and are like going through this hectic energy with them, and even though you may not be with them, you still feel them, recognize that there's parts of you in them and parts of them in you, in the sense that like, you both see the best and the worst in each other, whether you realize it or not. And I think it would be valuable to recognize that this person is more capable than you realize. And I think actually energetically having more belief in them, having more confidence in them, and expecting them to rise above what they've been allowing to hold them down, I think could be just like, and I'm not saying like say anything to them, I just mean like look at them objectively, and if you believe that they can be more and improve, hold that belief in stone and recognize like they're on their own path, they're on their own healing journey, they're gonna heal and they're gonna improve. And if they don't, it's not my problem. It's not my job to heal them. It's not my job to fix them. We're here having a human experience and they're entitled to their path, but I see me, I think you see you, okay, well, I was channeling your perspective. I see me in them. So you see yourself in them. And that means that if you can do it, they can do it too, right? And I think that they can. It's just that they have to get there themselves. And they have been getting there. You saw, like, you know, they've been weaving that web in this big empty room of theirs, and they're getting there. You're still just a little too much, you know? You're like a really, really, really nice couch, and they're like a empty dorm room, you know? It's kind of how that's kind of how they see it, I guess is the best way. Okay, so we're gonna get channel messages from your guides now about this connection. I'm gonna take that one, but we're just gonna see. And I will say, by the way, I've never used this deck. It's like a handmade deck. I've never used it in a romantic reading before, so hopefully these resonate, but I honestly don't know. Spirit just told me to do it, and I'm gonna trust it. So what other advice do you want to give to pile 2, please, Spirit? What messages do you have for them? Let's start with these for now. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to turn your back on us. We'll be here loving you anyway. When you're ready to hear from us again, we'll embrace you with open arms and make our presence known. We love you. So this is your guide saying it's okay to be human, and that when you're frustrated with them, when you're frustrated with this connection, when you're frustrated with anything, it's okay. It's okay. Like, it's okay to have those feelings, because your guides unconditionally love you. And actually this came out in the last pile, but they said you cannot understand our unconditional love for you if your heart is blocked. And so if you can't even understand how much your guides love you, it's going to be very hard for you to even understand how another person could love you. But your guides want you to understand that, like, the love that they have for you is something not human. It's something beyond that. And I actually, if you watch pile 1, maybe just watch the part towards the end, towards the channel messages, where I talked about your guides, how your guides see you, and like the fact that divine timing isn't planned, it's created through our actions every day. And so I think Spirit is just asking you to recognize, you know, you're not in this alone. You've got guides that are with you, that love you so much, that are guiding you, and they want you to trust them, and they want you to trust that they have your best interests at heart, and they want what's best for you, even if you can't understand why they might be doing things the way that they're doing them. You might prefer that they do them a different way, but you know, they're doing the best they can. We also have throat chakra. So yeah, maybe you and this person need to work on clearing your throat chakras or healing them. Maybe speaking your truth a little bit, or oh, I just got a really interesting image. From the Simpsons movie, when Homer gets saved by that native medicine woman, I think he calls her the boob lady. I mean, she did have big gazongas, and she guides with her gazongas, so I'm not even wrong with saying that. But like when she does she does this like chanting, and so I don't know what that's called, but maybe look into some type of like throat clearing, like chanting. I think you can do that with like meditation and shit. I sound so official. But yeah, I think like chanting of some kind was recommended. I just heard ayahuasca. I don't know what some of y'all are doing, but whatever you're doing, be safe. With peace and love, be safe. I'm not recommending any of you do that. I'm not stopping you either. I'm just saying be careful. And that I'm not endorsing it. We also have make time for your loved ones. So maybe one thing that could help you understand unconditional love is maybe spending time with the people that love you most. Like, you know, that could be friends or family members. But maybe you've been feeling very lonely, because we did see in the last pile there was a lot of loneliness energy. And so if you are feeling very lonely, one, I would say watch pile 1. It's going to be your perspective, I think. But 2, I really just feel like, you know, maybe you're too focused on this person right now, and maybe just getting love from different sources would be very helpful for you. But we also have pay attention to your dreams. We have messages for you. Keep a dream journal. And yeah, now we have love is all around you. Family, friends, partners, animals, spirits. So yeah, Spirit is saying that there's so much more love around you than you realize. Just because it's not coming from the source that you ideally wanted doesn't mean it's not there. Let's see what else, Spirit, what else do you want to say to pile 2? What else do you want to say to pile 2? Okay, we'll take these. This too will pass. Yeah. And actually what's really interesting is that there's a lot of progressing energy here, and there's no major arcanas. So this does seem to be a very temporary energy, and I may, depending on their response to this, because like I said, I never go into a reading assuming it's going to resonate. I have my theories and I see later in the comments, but we may have to do like a feelings reading in the next 2 weeks instead of the next month. Well, I think the last one I did was 2 months ago. Sorry, I've been kind of in a hermit mode, but like I may have to do it sooner. So if you guys want, I can do that sooner. But I do think that this is depending on how accurate this is, I do think that this is like a temporary energy that this person is in. But I think Spirit wanted you to understand their side of it. Because I feel like this person is moving towards you in some way, but not literally, energetically. Yeah. Wow. Okay, I'm really glad that didn't go into the fire. Act with authenticity. You'll never regret being your truth. That should say in your truth. Okay. Spontaneous Virgo moon activates. And we also have, pay attention to your thoughts. They manifest your reality. Are they in alignment with your highest good? So I have a bone to pick with past ASO because I don't necessarily agree with this anymore. I do and I don't. So act with authenticity. You'll never regret being in your truth. 100%. I think especially when it comes to this person, even if this person doesn't show up authentically, I think you have been showing up authentically. It was shown with the authenticity card. And I think that Spirit is saying, you know, by being authentic, you're doing all you can. What this person does, that's their problem. Don't let that be a reflection of you or your worth, because clearly this person sees you as someone very worthy. It's them who sees themselves as worthless. They feel like a little beggar chimney boy looking at the mirror of Aries from Harry Potter. Well, no, the mirror of Aries shows you exactly what you want out of life. Oh shit, maybe you are. Oh, maybe you're in the mirror. Wow, plot twist. But I was thinking of just like a really fancy mirror, and them just feeling like a little, like, you know, ashy little boy that sweeps the chimneys, and like, you know, which they don't exist anymore. So I don't know, maybe this, okay, ooh, hot take, small theory. What if you and this person had a past life and you were more well off and he or she was the chimney boy for your family? They could have been a they, but they, them pronouns I don't think were much of a thing back then. Pretty heteronormative if we're talking about Earth. But yeah, I almost wonder if part of their complex is a past life cycle playing out. Like maybe this person has always been in an economically disadvantaged spot, and maybe this connection has been forbidden in past lives because of a difference in class or caste or status. And maybe that trauma of, like, you know, not being able to be with one another, coupled with the trauma that poverty like has on a person, repeat that a couple cycles, a couple lifetimes, and that energy is really heavy and really intense. So it's a theory, not saying it's true or accurate, but it's a theory. And on the back of the deck we have, reach out to a friend you haven't spoken to in a while and let them know how special they are. So maybe it's this person for some of you. Maybe this person isn't being responsive to you and you want to reach out to them anyway. For others, this could just be a friend. I feel like Spirit is asking you to like kind of just get out of your hermity mode, because if Pile 1 resonates for you as your energy, we recognized you as being in a hermit mode and being lonely. So if you're lonely and in a hermit mode, there's people around you that would love to spend time with you. You just have to kind of open up to that. But pile 2, I am going to move this over to the extended now, and we are going to look at your person's 18 plus feelings for you. So if you want to check that out, feel free to jump over there. But if you're leaving me here, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me. So I am just very appreciative that you all are here watching me. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you left a like. Definitely comment down below, let me know how it resonates so that I know that I am at least on track. If you haven't already, I'd love it if you subscribed and joined our little fam. You can click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading, but if not, that's fine, that's cool too. If you want to support me in other ways, my social media will be linked below, as well as my merch. And I think that's all I have to plug. So I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 3. If you guys chose the Dreamkeepers Tarot and this Flower Agate Sun, this is going to be your reading on how your person is currently feeling about you. So before we get into the tarot, what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to look at the energy of the connection. And the way I typically do this is I just like to look at it as a whole. But what I'm actually going to do this time is I want to look at everything from your person's perspective. So we're going to see how they see themselves, how they see the connection, and how they see you, so that hopefully we can have a better insight into why they feel the things the way they do, and we'll see, like, in their feelings why there might be more there. And then we will pull channeled messages from them, and then we will pull channeled messages from your guides for advice. So let's go ahead and start with how your person is seeing the connection as a whole. So to start, we have the 10th house, the World, and we have this card, which represents this chakra. It's like, I don't know, it's something complicated. I call it the mega root because it's like the root chakra on, I don't know, universal steroids or something. Anyway, we're gonna look at how your person is viewing themselves. So to start, we have the Snake. I feel like some of you were like, yup, that's right. We have the Shaman. We have Abundance, and we have Gift. And then in terms of how they see you, we have the Tarantula. Don't get mad at the messenger. We have the Mentor. We have Mermaid and Cozy. So actually the Tarantula isn't a bad card, but I can understand how on first glance you might be like, why am I a Tarantula? We'll get there. But I'm definitely, in terms of like where you are at with this person and this connection, I feel like it could be in a lot of different stages. I have the desire to talk about things as if they are in past tense, but I don't think that's the case for all of you. But essentially kind of what I'm seeing here, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of start with where your person is at. It seems that they're at the beginning of a new cycle, like they've kind of regenerated in a way. They could be an earth sign. We have earth representing them and fire representing you. So earth would be Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Fire would be Aries, Leo, Sag, and we have more Capricorn energy with the 10th house being here. But I think that this person is starting a journey or deepening their journey of like shadow work and self-awareness. In fact, we actually have 2 snakes here. It's almost like this person has shed some former skin, and I think that's inspired by you, pile 3. In terms of how they're seeing you, I feel like you saved their life in some kind of way. Obviously, they view you, even if you're younger than them, they view you as a mentor in some way. Like maybe you taught them about shadow work or how to get in touch with themselves. But with this Tarantula card, I keep seeing the image from, I think it's the very first Home Alone movie, where Kevin, the main protagonist, is about to go up to the attic in his house, and he gets caught by one of the, are they the wet bandits or the sticky bandits in the first one? I think they're the wet bandits in the first one. Harry and Marv. I think it's It doesn't matter. Anyway, one of the burglars has Kevin by the foot. And at the same time, coincidentally, Kevin's older brother's tarantula happens to be on top of the burglar that's grabbing a hold of Kevin. And because of that tarantula, the other burglar is like, I'm going to kill it. Hang on. And so obviously they miss because it's a children's movie and they just end up hurting their partner. But it gives Kevin the freedom to run away, and it like and the tarantula kind of essentially saves Kevin's life in that moment. And so Spirit was kind of showing me that as like a, obviously I don't think that particular scenario is what happened between you and this person, but I think that this person, you completely changed how this person views their life. And I think that you gave them a lot more optimism and a lot more hope than they once had. You're kind of an inspiration to them in the sense that you have been choosing, that's not grammatically correct. You've been choosing to follow your own path, to follow your life's purpose and do what's right for you. This owl makes me think of Hedwig, Harry Potter's owl. But I think that this person, you've shown this person a higher level of thinking, a higher way of seeing things, a higher perspective, essentially. And I think that this person sees you as somebody very safe. They see you as nurturing, they see you as cozy. And I think that you have shown this person that their life, that their presence, that their existence is more of a gift than they realize. If you're with this person, they definitely view themselves as being more abundant, having you by their side. They feel very lucky. They feel very blessed. But if you're not with this person, I think that there may be what's the best word I can use here? Conflict of interest. In the sense that I think that this person is very ambitious. I think they care about their goals. I think they care about their public image. For some of you, this person could be in the public eye in some way. Or maybe you're already in the public eye and this person is coming into the public eye. For some of you, this could be long distance because we do have the world here and this does kind of represent the world card. But I think that for some of you, it's definitely possible that you've been through a lot with this person. Like maybe you've been through different relationship statuses with them. Maybe you've been friends. Maybe you've been friends with benefits. Maybe you've been together. Maybe like I just can see that for some of you, there's a lot of history here. And for others, it's maybe kind of a could've, would've, should've. And for others, like you could actively be with this person. I do feel like for those of you that are not with this person, though, I feel like this person is very hyper aware of how other people perceive them. Even if they're not aware of it correctly, I think that they are very worried about what other people think. And I think they view you as somebody kind of magical and mystical and like not even real sometimes, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, you know, with this mermaid card here, I feel like they're kind of blown away by how easy it is for you. And maybe it's not easy, but they perceive it as being easy for you to kind of just follow the inner yearnings of your soul and follow what feels right to you. But nonetheless, you've been a huge inspiration for them. And I think that you're actually the person that has either created some kind of awakening for them or has shown them that they either have a lot of work to do or that they have a wealth of inner awareness already within them. They just have to tap into it and that they have this inner guidance already. And I think they're starting to learn that that abundance comes in so many other forms than just money. And I think that they're starting to realize how much love that they have for you, like objectively. Like they have so much love for you. And I think that one of the biggest gifts that you've given them is the gift of realizing that their life is just as important as anyone else's. And maybe you never outwardly said that, but I think that you have this naturally, this natural gift of making people feel more accepted and making people feel more valid. I mean, you have a cozy energy to you as shown by this person. And what's interesting is that this gift card can talk about making decisions. It can talk about, choosing to give your heart to somebody or choosing to focus on yourself. And so I feel like for some, like I said, it's going to be varied where you are with this person. But I keep hearing the word liminal space. So I don't know if maybe you and this person meet up in the astral, like you show up in each other's dreams, or maybe you astral project to one another or something. But I think that there's this intuitive connection between the two of you that kind of transcends the physical world, and that is kind of omnipresent no matter where you and this person are. You know, I do feel like you two are very different on a surface level. It could be like physically, obviously a tarantula and a snake are two very different animals. You both probably feel pretty misunderstood. You both probably feel like you've probably both felt unsupported or just not validated by most of the world. And I think that you two found a sense of validation in one another. And I think that this person realized that they have so much creative potential that has yet to be tapped into. And I think that's part of the gift that you've given them. You're a huge inspiration to them. And I think you've either taught them a lot about spirituality or just taught them a lot about themselves and given them the ability to kind of go within and start learning more. Your perspective on the world is very inspiring to this person. And I just heard the term scorched earth, and if you can tell here, we have fire and we have earth. And so I almost feel like you kind of scorched the last remaining things of this person's identity that they didn't need any longer, or beliefs that they didn't need any longer. And you kind of came in like out of nowhere and just completely set on fire everything that was holding this person down. And maybe you had to leave, or maybe things ended, but this person might have felt like they got burned, but they're realizing the blessing of being burned now. It's because now they have a fresh slate to work with, and they're regrowing from the ashes, kind of like in a phoenix sort of way. I'm seeing like Dumbledore's phoenix right now. A lot of Harry Potter references in this pile. Maybe this person would identify as a Slytherin. But I think that this person recognizes that there's something I'm hearing like the Justin Bieber song, like lonely, like I'm so fucking lonely. And like I feel like you make this person feel a lot less lonely. And maybe this, for some of you, I feel like this person feels guilt that they're not able to give you the same. But at the same time, it's like I feel like you're very accepting, and just you kind of roll with the punches rather than trying to force things to happen. And I think that this person maybe appreciates that you've given them the freedom to go their own way, even if that's not necessarily what you wanted. But it definitely, if you're with this person, they feel a sense of safety and comfort and security with you that they don't feel with anyone else. And I think that you make them feel a lot less alone in the world. And I think, oh, this is actually really sweet. They feel lucky that they get to look up at the same moon as you do, which is really sweet. And I think that they're lucky that they even got to know you and that they've lived in the same lifetime as you. And I think for some, maybe this person didn't realize what they had until they lost it. And for others, maybe they just didn't realize how flawed their perspective was in certain ways, because they had never been shown anything otherwise. And you kind of swooped in and were like, hey, look at it from this angle, look at it from that angle. And I think that this person is realizing that there's so many blessings that they weren't aware of originally. And I think they're recognizing that they have to treat their life more like a gift than like a curse that's been thrust upon them. And with this nurturing card here, you know, I think you help them feel grounded in the sense that they feel really safe with you. There's probably an aspect of your connection where both of your inner children feel complete with one another, or just feel like they're in good company. But I also feel like this person just loves the fact that you make them feel misunderstood. And it's kind of hard for me to deliver this message because I do feel like there's a kind of a split energy here where you and this person, for some of you, are maybe not even in contact or have kind of moved forward in life. And for others, I could totally see you and this person literally like being together. And I feel like if you're together, this person just sees you as amazing, like so intelligent and smart and different and comforting, and they just have a bunch of wonderful things to say about you. But let's go ahead and look at their feelings now and kind of see how this person is truly feeling about you, because their perception of you is very like good, but they you know, this could be, maybe it took time for them to get to that place. And truthfully, I don't know where you and this person are at in terms of your connection, because like I said, it kind of feels all over the board. This is the Dreamkeepers Tarot. I actually just got this deck, so I'm excited that this is the first video I'm using it in, so I hope y'all feel special. But we will shuffle these and see what comes out, and then I have oracles to go along with it. So Spirit, how is pile 3's person? How are they currently feeling about pile 3? Please. Okay, we have the Chariot. Cancer energy here. The 5 of Cups. I keep hearing Justin Bieber like whining in my ear, like, you know, if you had it all, but nobody to call. Like, and maybe this person did have somebody to call, but they can't call you about it anymore. I'm not a singer, so don't expect me to sing. Okay, yeah, we have the High Priestess here. This person still feels you. No matter like how far away you two might be from one another. We have the Empress here. Wow, yeah. And we have the Page of Swords in reverse. So yeah, I feel like maybe for a lot of you, maybe you're not talking, or maybe this person feels like it's not the right time. How do you want to go? Damn it, it landed on its side. I was waiting. Which way do you want? Okay, upright. I'm gonna go with upright. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. 9 of Swords, upright. Yeah, this person is definitely like overthinking. We have the Tower, and on the back of the deck we have the 9 of Pentacles. So I would say predominantly what I'm getting for the majority of you before I look at the oracles here is that this person, you're likely not with this person. But let's look at the oracles first. To start, we have Netcaster, preparations to come to fruition, and we have duality, many meanings, misunderstandings. We have self-esteem. Actually, I want to put this over here. We have self-esteem, and we have pride, and we have broken heart, and then finally we have body and afraid of the attic. Yeah, I definitely think that this person, okay, now I'm hearing JoJo saying like too little too late. Maybe that's kind of your energy towards this person, because I do kind of see you in this 9 of Pentacles energy, and I think that this person is trying to get there as well. I feel like you've kind of moved forward in life. I feel like you've been focusing on you, focusing on what's important to you. And I think that this person now is recognizing you as everything that they couldn't see you as before. If you're in a relationship with this person, I would say it's likely that maybe you two got in an argument or something, and I think that this person is maybe really overthinking about things and wants to fix things. But with this Tower card here, I feel like for a lot of you, either you were literally with this person in a relationship, or something happened before it could get there. Maybe this person sabotaged it, or maybe the universe created a Tower moment that kind of ended things between the two of you. And I think that this person is acknowledging that they had a lot of fears towards this connection, and a lot of them were self-sabotaging, and they recognize that they weren't able to see the situation clearly when they were in it. With the High Priestess and the Empress, though, I definitely feel like you have made them more aware of their feminine energy. in terms of like recognizing that they have feminine energy within them that they have to embrace, no matter what gender they are. There, it seems like there was a lack of like feminine nurturing energy within them, and I think that you kind of helped show them that that aspect is just as important as having like masculine energy that is expansive and outward and things like that. I think this person is kind of sad that they allowed their ego and their maybe pride to dictate how they went about making actions. They're recognizing now that they were definitely unbalanced. And with this Five of Cups here, I think they're really disappointed in maybe how they acted or how they treated you. And I think now this person is recognizing where they acted out of insecurity or low self-esteem, or even not even acted, but interpreted things on your end incorrectly because they were too afraid to clarify and they didn't have much self-esteem. So like I could see you maybe like let's say for example you said something and they completely misinterpreted it in the wrong way, and instead of asking what you meant by what you said, they just assumed that you meant it in the way that they interpreted it as, and they're just like, oh, I knew it, you know, pile 3 wasn't interested in me. It's almost like they had self-fulfilling prophecies. But with this netcaster, part of me, I partially kind of wonder if maybe they are wanting to okay, I'm sorry, I have to stop. This spirit just gave me the weirdest download ever. If you've ever seen Grown Ups, you'll remember Rob Schneider's daughters. He has 3 of them. And for some reason, like, the Pina Colada song just came on, and then I feel like this person felt like the third daughter in that movie. And if you've never seen that movie, it's not, I mean, obviously it's not like I don't necessarily approve of them doing this, but like they essentially had 2 insanely hot actresses that were playing his first 2 daughters, and everyone's like, oh, how'd that come from you? And then the third one comes and she looks a lot more, I think she actually is Rob Schneider's daughter, and so obviously she looks more like him, and they just like give him a bunch of shit, and you know, they make a bunch of jokes about it. But essentially, I feel like this person saw you as both of the really hot Rob Schneider daughters and saw themselves as like the third daughter. I feel like they just had really low self-esteem, and they just assumed that people wouldn't want anything to do with them. Maybe there's messages in the movie Grown Ups, you know, maybe you want to get chocolate wasted or something. Maybe this person did things when they were wasted or said things when they were wasted that they didn't mean out of insecurity. But I definitely think that this person has a lot of insecurities. And I think that their actions don't necessarily, they don't necessarily like align with their thoughts, their morals, or how they truly feel. Because we have this Afraid of the Addict card. And I feel like they try to avoid thinking about you and what happened between you. Because with this broken heart energy, maybe they broke your heart and that breaks their heart, or they're or maybe the dust has kind of settled, and now the reality of what happened is actually starting to sit in. Or starting to set in. But for some of you, I almost get the vibe like maybe this person left to pursue their own dreams, and maybe sometimes they have fears that you don't see how special you are to them. But with peace and love, pile 3, if this person treated you poorly, you don't owe them anything. And if they didn't make you feel as special as they truly feel about you, like, you don't owe them anything. And honestly, like, I do feel like this person maybe gets kind of stuck in their own self-pity and maybe uses pity, kind of like a Jerry. They kind of like use pity as a way to gain power. So I don't know. So I guess I would say when it comes to this person, use your best judgment. Because they may be laying it on thick. They're energetically, they may be laying it on thick for me. And that's why I just want to say it's important that you have free will, and that this person, for some of you, maybe they needed to lose you to understand what they deserve. Yeah, I feel like they were very confused, but they also weren't straight up with you about what was going on. And I think now that they see you at a distance, like thriving, it's almost like now their world is crumbling. It's like when they had you kind of wrapped around their finger, they didn't appreciate you. And now that you're gone, it's like, yeah, I guess that's why I wanted to talk about this in past tense. It's like, and I would say even if you're with this person and you guys just got in an argument, I think even this alone is like the way that this person is afraid to kind of admit their own BS. But I think as they're starting to have more self-esteem, they're starting to be more comfortable calling themselves out on their own shit. Because, like, this person does have depth. Like, with the shaman there, they're starting to do shadow work. And I think it's interesting that the first analogy that I had, or metaphor analogy, well, somebody comment the difference between metaphors and analogies in the comments, because I know I'm going to forget to Google it when I'm done. Thanks. The first, so maybe addicts are significant in some way. I'm thinking of that Shel Silverstein book. Is there a Shel Silverstein book about, like, addicts? I don't know. Shel Silverstein was the bomb. I need to get those books. But with this Afraid of the Attic, it's almost like they're kind of afraid of facing, like, the truth. Like, they don't really want to think about it because they have a lot of fears around this connection. And, you know, with this duality, many meanings, misunderstandings, I think that there were truths here, like multiple truths here. Like, they didn't treat you the way you deserved, but they also, like, weren't capable of giving you anything more, or, like, I don't know. There's just, like, the vibe, the overall vibe I'm getting is, like, this and that are true. And I think that they are looking at you from afar and seeing you glow and seeing you shine. And I think that's really hard for them. And I guess I just want to, like, give it up for pile 3, because, like, you seem to be doing amazing, sweetie. And I feel like, honestly, you kind of just kept moving forward. And you have figured out how to find this balance between, like, your light and your shadow sides, and you're learning how to prioritize yourself first. And, like, with this Cancer energy here, I think you learned that, like, you can't baby this person or nurture this person forever. Like, you can't fix their problems for them. And so you've just been focusing on doing you. And I think this person is realizing, like, how much they relied on you, or how much they took you for granted. And with this Pride card here, it's like now they're having to fight their pride because, like, they don't want to admit that they are brokenhearted, or that they do. I'm hearing the Halsey song, like, you should feel sad or something like that. I feel like that's kind of on your end. With this Body card, though, I kind of feel like this person is in a bit of, like, a dissociative place. I don't really think they're very present in their body or their mind. I think that they're kind of maybe using escapist behaviors a lot. The 5 of Cups can talk about, like, you know, drowning your woes in alcohol or something like that, getting chocolate wasted. You know, my candle's kind of going crazy, and this is a self-love candle, so it's quite possible that maybe the amount of self-love that you have for yourself, Spirit's like, look, like, pile 3, they know they're the shit now, and, like, I think that scares this person maybe. But I don't want to write them off as somebody that's, like, manipulative and, like, because for some of you they are, but for some of you I think that it's not that they're manipulative, it's just that they weren't maybe aware of how their behavior was manipulative in the past. But they're not, the way that they're feeling about you is, like, really sad. I think that they're losing a lot of sleep. I think that their world is kind of crumbling down in some way, and I think that you're doing just fine. And even if you're not, from their perspective, it does seem like you are. I feel like with this Netcaster, this person may try to come back. We'll kind of see in the channel messages and the other cards. But for others, because I'm interpreting this in different ways. Either, for some of you, I get the vibe like this person had to let you go because they're focused on their career. And so they're focused on that, and they're actively acknowledging that they missed out on a really beautiful connection, or had to let go of a really beautiful connection in order to do what was best for them, and that sucks, and they feel brokenhearted thinking that you think that they don't see the world in you, but like this was a matter of them having to choose themselves. Whereas for others, I feel like this person maybe didn't appreciate you while they had you, and now that they've lost you, they're trying to maybe come back in. So if this person didn't treat you right, or they didn't make you feel loved or appreciated, pay attention to that when they come back. Obviously you have free will, but know at the end of the day, you deserve to thrive, whether you're single or in a relationship. And you know, your fire burns brighter and stronger than anyone else's. I'm slightly concerned that I'm gonna burn my table, but it's already happened once, and I just love this fire. So we're just gonna let it burn. We'll just see what happens. I've already set one card on fire. That was in my last video though. So, you know. And no, it only singed the edge. So like with peace and love, it wasn't that bad. But we're gonna get channel messages from them now and see, Spirit, what does pile 3's person, what do they want to say to pile 3? I'm manifesting you. So yeah, for some of you, they're definitely trying to get you back. We're at the right place at the right time. So yeah, maybe this person is ready to cast their net out, or maybe in the future, Spirit will bring you two back together, or they're hoping for that. Let's see. We also have, I am afraid I will hurt you, and I like how I can be myself around you. Yeah, this person definitely feels a sense of freedom around you that they don't with very many people. God damn, this fire is like, damn, shoddy fire burning on the dance floor, am I right? She gonna bring that roof to ground on the dance floor. She's fire burning on the dance floor. Hey, how about Spirit? Can I get another channeled message, please? I love you, babe. And on the back of the deck, I feel the connection too, and I see right through the lies you tell yourself. So yeah, this is so fun. Wow, you guys have a lot of self-esteem, don't ya? Wow. I'm gonna move my Lemurian quartz over a little bit, because like I just want to see what happens out of morbid curiosity. But I'm gonna move my light a little bit, so sorry if it gets darker. But we're gonna get channel messages from your guides now and see what they want to say. I'm also gonna move my other crystals. We have an owl and a Mr. Snake over here. Yeah, that 100% is burning something into this table, but like I've been using this table for a long time, so you know, these are just love marks at this point. But this is a deck that I made. Oh, and we have another snake and another owl here. So maybe snakes and owls are significant to your connection. This is bloodstone, and I believe this is rhodonite. It's either rhodonite or rhodochrosite, but I think it's rhodonite because there's like darker bits in here. Okay, yeah, so this is meant to be channel messages from your guides, so we're going to get advice from them before we go into the extended, because we're going to see their sexual feelings about you in the extended. However, I may sit and talk longer because I don't want to leave you guys hanging with this just bonfire happening right now. It's totally like burning the shit out of the candle though. I just can't help but be fascinated. But this is, okay, so yeah, this is I've never used it in a romantic context before, but this is a deck I made of just like channel messages from your guides. So we'll see what advice they have to say, but I may have to like tweak it and fix it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, all right. Okay, we're going to take this one and this one, and we're going to take Missed Boundaries, and then okay, correlation is not causation wants to come out as well. So we're going to start with those, and then we'll see if you need any more. So correlation is not causation. This is a pretty common thing to say in like statistics and science stuff, but essentially it just means that just because two things seem related doesn't mean that they are related. Just a real world example of this is, you know, the vaccines and autism argument. I'm not here to make a statement about that, but if y'all know me, you'll probably know where I stand. But, you know, people try to connect those two things together, because the amount of autism diagnoses and the amount of vaccines that we have both risen. But just because both of them have risen doesn't mean that they're the cause of each other. You know, the amount of autism diagnoses have risen because we have a lot more awareness about autism than we once did, and we have more understanding and awareness. And as vaccine technology continues to get better, you know, we have more to vaccinate ourselves for. So, you know, just because those two things might look related on a chart, you can put two charts together, just because they correlate does not mean that they're the cause of one another. You know what I mean? With peace and love. I'm not a medical expert, but I did do a lot of research on like the vaccines and like the social effects of vaccines in college. And yeah, it's a big one. We also have We Know. So this is a Skyrim or Elder Scrolls reference from the Dark Brotherhood. And I always take this as a way of like your guide saying like, we know what's up and like you can trust us. If you've asked your guides for any help or anything like that, I always see this as your guide's way of saying like, we know what's going on, we know what's up, like we know we've heard your prayers, we know what's going on, and but also like we know what's best for you, like trust us, you know, but also do what you want, like you have free will, but you can trust that we know what's going on. We're more present than you realize. And we have this card coming out with the boundaries, because I have barriers and boundaries, but it came up boundaries side up. So that means I would say Spirit is saying, you know, definitely have your boundaries up with this person. Make sure you speak your boundaries. And if this person doesn't respect them, pay attention to that, because that is incredibly important. Just because you are adorable does not mean that you deserve to have your boundaries walked all over. And I think that Spirit is saying we see and hear conversations that you don't, so trust that we know what's best for you, even if you feel like we don't. We also have you'll reap what you sow. And you're in alignment when you speak your authentic truth. And so I guess Spirit is asking you to just be aware of what you invest your time and energy into, and trust that if you're being honest, you can never kind of go wrong with that. Oh yeah, we also have Can I Borrow a Feeling, which is a Simpsons reference. So maybe for some of you, this is like a divorce situation. Maybe this is somebody that you divorced, because this is Kirk Van Houten's mixtape that he makes after him and Luann divorce. So I feel like your person could be feeling pretty emo right now, or maybe Spirit is acknowledging maybe listening to some sad music could be helpful. But I do feel like this person may try to come back and may try to win you over. And I almost kind of feel like it's in a Jerry-esque way, where they're going to kind of play on your pity depending on this type of person. So just be aware, if this is somebody that you know that doesn't treat you right, doesn't respect you, and doesn't respect, you know, your person, that maybe you should recognize, just because they've realized that you're the High Priestess and the Empress put together, no matter what your gender is, does not mean that they deserve all of you. You know, we all have feminine and masculine energy, and I think that they are just acknowledging you as someone who's beautiful on the inside and outside. And I feel like they're starting to feel the effects of like getting burned, in the sense of like you're glowing up so powerfully that like they recognize that they're just like charcoal at this point. Like they just can't compare to you. And inaction is also an action. Get out of your head and make those dreams a reality. So Spirit is saying, like, you know, if you're allowing the situation to hold you back, my desk smells like barbecue. If you're allowing like the situation to hold you back from being yourself, like that's the red flag right there. First of all, you should feel comfortable to do what makes you happy, but also Spirit is saying, you know, don't be afraid to like follow your dreams and do what's right for you. We also have rejection as divine protection. Just trust that we have something better in store. So yeah, if this person rejected you in the past and now they're like kind of seeing what you're doing and they like want to get in on that, be aware of that, and maybe recognize that Spirit is like trying to what's that song with like the dead and gone part in it? And now it's like dead and gone. I don't know. But that song I was hearing. But Spirit is saying, you know, if you feel like this person can't give you what you deserve, don't allow like familiarity or the desire to be on good terms, or or just the feeling of missing that familiarity clouds your judgment when it comes to what's best for you. But we also have, you are a soul living a human experience, surrender to the highs and lows. There are lessons in everything. And so this is really important because I think Spirit is trying to get you to understand that, like, part of you being here is that you're going to experience high highs and low lows. You should read The Wisdom of Insecurity by Alan Watts. It talks a lot about how, you know, kind of like the one of the dual parts of human nature is, like, you know, we experience these beautiful highs, but then we also have these really shitty lows too. And that's kind of the beauty of the human experience, is like surrendering to those extremes, because you don't want to live a lackluster life. You know what I mean? So your guides have a message for you. Pick the first book that comes to mind. I did just talk about Alan Watts, so maybe you want to look at that. Close your eyes and point to a sentence. If it doesn't make sense, contemplate it and scan the rest of the page for clues. Some answers take time to fully understand. So yeah, if you do this and it doesn't make sense, maybe write it down and leave it somewhere else. But coincidentally, the candle stopped burning right around the same time I was finishing. So pile 3, I hope this was helpful. I feel like this reading was kind of confusing, but I feel like you and this person are kind of confused right now. And I think it's important to know, Spirit's calling me to cut this, so I'm going to. I like you in the darkest parts of you. And I think that was the beauty of you and how you made this person feel. But I think that this person didn't appreciate all that you were. I feel like they didn't look at you as a multi-dimensional person at first. I feel like they looked at you as perfect, and they didn't recognize that you had dark parts as well. And I think that they wrote you off in that way. And I feel like that's unfair. I feel like that was maybe kind of this person having to learn that they're wrong about things and that they're not the only one with suffering. But we're going to go the extended now, where first of all, we're going to see what the fuck this candle did to my table. Sorry, but you have to pay for that. And then we're going to look at this person's sexual feelings for you and see, you know, how they're feeling on that front. And we'll also get more channel messages, because I just got this deck and I'm really liking it, and I think it's really cute and it makes me happy. So I'm leaving this reading here, pile 3. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me. But if you would like to support me in other ways, you can check out my merch or check out my socials. I do Instagram readings all the time, so if you really want to check me out somewhere, I'd probably check me out on Instagram. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you left a like. If you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribed and click that little bell notification to be part of our little fam. If this reading resonated, definitely let me know how in the comments. If you watched the extended and that resonates too, definitely let me know in the comments how it resonated as well. But yeah, I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you guys so much for letting me read your cards. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 4. If you guys chose the Larimar shell and the Cosmic Slumber Tarot, this is going to be your reading. If you're wondering why my clothes and the candle is different, that is because the candle I was using in the last pile set itself on fire and burnt itself to char, and I accidentally got ash all over me. So I had to change. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at first the connection, but typically I do it like looking just as a whole, what's going on between you and this person. But instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to channel your person's perspective, because I want to see how they see themselves versus how they see you and the connection, so that when we go deeper into their feelings, we might be able to understand why they might feel certain ways. So we're just going to go ahead and start and see how your person is seeing the connection as a whole. So to start, we have Yod, Destiny, and the heart chakra with play. And then in terms of how they see themselves, they are seeing themselves, actually you guys got 2 animal cards. To start, they're seeing themselves as the lamb, the river, and the dragon. Hopefully all that is spinning in there. Kind of 2 different energies. We also have the unicorn, divine, and unity. So this is overall really good energy. Definitely different from the last 3 piles so far. So in terms of how they're looking at you, we have the Fish, Alethea, and the Cosmic Egg. So we have, yeah, you guys both got 2 cards, lucky ducks. And then we also have the Spore. We have Tribe and Sacred. Okay. So this person actually has a very healthy sense of self. The fact that they're represented by the river kind of goes to show that this is somebody who has been, has come a long way on their journey, in the sense that they have been actively transforming, allowing themselves to go with the flow, but also kind of forging their own path. You know, like an ocean is big and vast, while a river kind of follows a path. And I feel like this person has been following their own path, been going with their own flow, and kind of uncovering their own inner truths as they go along. I feel like this person is also highly intuitive and probably has some sort of psychic abilities as well. They definitely recognize themselves as special, in that there's not very many people that understand them or are like them. But at the same time, I think that this person, through their healing, has learned to have a deeper love for humanity, and recognize how we're all kind of human and how we're all one and the same. But I think that they are learning how to see their own divinity, and recognizing that harnessing their own power and harnessing what is their truth and what feels right to them is honoring and empowering their own divinity as well. They definitely are spiritual in some way. I would say it's highly unlikely that this person doesn't believe in anything, but I could totally be wrong. But with this divine card here, I feel like this person really sees themselves not in like an egotistical way, but just in a self-assured way, where they see their worth and they're not afraid to express who they are, and embrace their uniqueness, essentially. And what's interesting is that in terms of how they see this connection, the Yod, the way that it's explained in the astrology book is that it's talks about truth, which there's the buzzword of this pile is truth. But this talks about this person definitely feels like your connection is a part of their destiny in some way, but but it's not going to be easy. And maybe it's not going to be difficult either. It just seems like there might be changes that have to be made. Like, for example, the two of you could live in different places, or there could be compromise that just needs to happen, things of that nature. It does kind of seem like this person sees themselves as further along in their journey than you. And that could be true. For others, I might be channeling your energy. Because this energy does already feel so different from the last 3 piles, I will say it's likely that if this seems like your energy, you may not find your energy in the other piles, unfortunately, or your person's energy in the other piles if this is resonating. But I figured I would let you know now. But I think that this person, they see you as like part of their soul tribe and something very sacred. And with this Spore card here, something about your community is significant. Maybe they met you through some type of online community, or maybe they met you just online in general, or they see you as somebody with a lot of love around you, or with like your own community already. It kind of seems like your influence spreads, like you're a very influential person who speaks a lot of truth. There's a lot of energy with truth here. And I think that this person is recognizing that this connection was always kind of meant to be a part of their life. It's just that they didn't have any reason to confirm that until they actually met you. It's like they kind of knew you were coming before you showed up in their life, but they didn't exactly know who you were, how this would play out. In terms of how they see you, they definitely recognize that you're connected to divinity and the divine in a similar way that they are. The fact that we have the cosmic egg, this represents the crown chakra, and the divine card here, I think you both have either psychic abilities or know your truths and have deeper spiritual truths going on. But I think that this person recognizes that you don't have it all figured out yet. Like with this fish, and it's kind of interesting because I think this person sees that you could flow into their world really well, but they're not going to like force that upon you. I think that they're like, you know, kind of just allowing things to happen naturally. I feel like this person is very gentle with you and they're very caring with you. And I feel like probably people mostly see them as this like dragon-esque figure. They probably only treat you like this, treat you in a very gentle way because like they feel very like special with you. I think they see this connection as special. They obviously have feelings for you. The fact that they're looking at the connection from the heart chakra, it's definitely pretty clear that they see you as somebody who kind of touches their heart, and like they connect with you, I think, through their inner child. I think that you both kind of have a playful energy that is really refreshing for the both of you. I feel like it's pretty like the energy exchange between you is pretty harmonious. And I feel like you both are just like two dolphins almost, like, you know, communicating in the same way. And I think in some ways you see things differently, but also in others you see them very similarly. And it helps you both broaden your perspectives, but also find camaraderie in another person that sees things similarly as you do. But what's interesting is that they see themselves as a river and they see you as a fish. So I feel like they almost kind of like want to make you part of their world, but they don't want to force you. But they do recognize that you're kind of just going with the flow for now and following what feels right, you know, especially if you've been on your like spiritual path for not as long as they have. I feel like they probably recognize that it's not their job to guide you, like you have to guide yourself, but I think that they have hopes that you'll be guided kind of towards their direction. But I feel like they're very gentle towards you because they don't want to enforce or impose what they want upon you. They see your free will as very important, and they're seeing you as truth. So they see you as somebody very honest, they trust you, and they recognize that you're also connected to the divine, to source, and you understand that truth. And I think that truth is really big for both of you. And in fact, maybe you two met through something spiritual or like through mutual friends or something that had something going on. But I think that this person definitely views you as part of being in their soul tribe in some way, that there's a deeper soul connection here, and this person sees the truth of you in the sense that like, yes, you're a multi-dimensional being and you have had this entire life, but this person acknowledges that like whatever you've been doing in this life, I feel like this person thinks you've either had past lives together, or they just recognize your energy even if they don't have the full picture yet. And I like too that your like spirit cards are both represented by like scaly reptile-ish animals. I think that this person sees you as very complimentary in some ways, and a good contrast in others. And I think that you two have kind of a unique connection where you both recognize that you both are unique and have a hard time like maybe connecting with others in the same way. And so it's I think it's very exciting for the both of you to have this connection. It's at least exciting for this person because they feel like they found someone that they can be playful with, that they feel a togetherness with, and they view your connection as sacred in some way, even if it hasn't developed, or even if it's not the connection they view as sacred, they view you as a sacred person. They view you as a special person. And I think it's very important to them that you have the freedom to, I'm hearing, roam and explore the same way they did. So I think that and what's awesome is that they have a really healthy sense of self. So they're not going to be controlling in the sense of like, they don't want to control your decisions or tell you what to do. They just kind of like are excited to watch you follow your journey. Like with peace and love, like they want to be a part of it, but they're not going to force themselves to be a part of it because, you know, they know that they've got to let everybody do their own thing and do what's right for them. And they have a really healthy sense of self where they're not the type of person to be controlling or be manipulative or be judgmental and like, you know, make you feel like you have to do things a certain way. You know, this person has kind of forged their own path and they feel like you deserve to do the same. And they definitely hope that they're involved in your path in some way, but they're not forcing that. They definitely have feelings for you, but I think that there's some challenges in terms of like, or maybe not challenges, but maybe sacrifices that have to be made in order for this connection to fully come together or to ascend to a higher level of commitment. And so your person is aware of that and they are just trying to be hands off because they don't want to affect your destiny is what I'm feeling like. But I think no matter what, they recognize that you two didn't just meet by accident. And what I'm thinking as well is that, you know, they understand themselves really well. There's a lot of color here, but I think they're still getting to know you and they're still learning about you. They're still learning about who you are, and you're still kind of black and white to them in the sense that they don't have a rainbow of understanding of you like they do themselves, but they're getting there and they want to learn more. But I also think that this kind of extends to the fact that they feel that maybe you're still kind of figuring yourself out still. And this person is too, but in a different way. Like they've just been kind of on this path longer. And so they just have more awareness. But the nice thing is that they don't feel like they have to teach you lessons or anything like that. They want you to learn your own lessons and go things your own way. And they're just kind of like a loving presence beside you. There's definitely differences between the two of you. I'm thinking like the biggest ones could be like one of you could be an introvert and the other could be an extrovert, or like you could come from two different backgrounds, two different types of families, two different cultures. But I think like your souls are very similar, and that's kind of what shines through. And I think what's really interesting is that these kind of cards here, or at least these two, feel more like on the 3D level what's going on, but on the kind of astral level, like the spiritual part of this connection, I think this person is recognizing that source kind of brought you two together. And I feel like this person is almost feeling pretty good that they've like brought someone in like you. I think that they see you as like an equal and somebody very cool and very special, and I feel like they feel lucky to be put on your path, and like vice versa. So I'm excited to see what their feelings are for you. This is a bit of a different energy, like I was already saying. So unfortunately, I do think this will be an example of a pile where maybe only one side of one perspective is noted or able to be read for. So if it's you, I do feel like there's a lot of mutual feelings here, so I wouldn't worry too much. But yeah, we are going to shuffle your tarot cards now. I have oracles already shuffled, so after I shuffle your tarot cards, we'll look at those as well, and we'll see what their deeper feelings are for you. I feel like definitely this is either something newer or you haven't been able to, or it's like, if not newer, it seems like it hasn't ascended to a higher level of commitment in a while, or it's just not time to, I guess. But we are going to go ahead and shuffle now. So Spirit, how is pile 4's person? How are they currently feeling about pile 4? Okay, so I'm going to take the Hanged one, but I'm taking the rest. Okay, we have the Hanged one. We have the Emperor in reverse. Yeah, so this is already like this person does not want to control the situation. We have Justice upright, so that's a good sign. Okay, I'm going to take the rest of these back, though. We have Aries and Libra and Pisces energy so far. How else is this person feeling, Spirit, about pile 4? Okay. So we have the Princess of Pentacles or Page of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Six of Swords upright. And we have the King of Swords in reverse. Yeah, definitely travel here is indicated for sure. How about one more, Spirit? Maybe 2. Okay. Yeah, well, I got 2, so that doesn't matter. So yeah, we have the Seven of Cups and the King of Wands, and on the back of the deck, okay, yeah, we have the Nine of Swords. So, interestingly, this person is playing it a lot cooler than they are showing. They might definitely have some worries. Maybe this is the first time they felt this way about somebody in a long time, but let's look at your oracles as well. So we have Root Girl, the disowned self. I want to put that there. We have Portal, Infinite Mind, Awakening Consciousness. We have Completion. We have Adversity. And we have the Magician and the Mirror. And finally, we have Noble and Everything You Need Too Soon. So, okay, it definitely seems like there's some kind of hurdle here, whether it's distance or fears that somebody won't be accepted on either side, or fears of how this will all come together. I feel like this person, in terms of their feelings for you, they see you as like an ideal partner and somebody that they definitely don't want to do dirty or do wrong by. I feel like right now they're maybe uncertain as to where this is going to go, either because it's too fresh or you two haven't really talked about it. But it does seem like there's a willingness to like either travel or move beyond any challenges the two of you may face. With the Hanged One here and the Emperor in reverse, it definitely seems like this person is not trying to control the situation. Like they don't want to. Like they want to allow things to unfold as they will. And this person is kind of dedicated to being very upfront with you about everything. Like they don't want to lie to you. They don't want to tell you any white lies. But maybe one thing this person hasn't told you is that it kind of freaks them out how great you are, or how happy you could make them. With this Everything You Need Too Soon. And what's actually kind of interesting is that we have the Six of Swords here, but with the Nine of Swords, it's like this person thinks about moving forward with you, but they're very afraid of what that entails. They're very afraid of literally having a fresh start because of what that might look like and what changes that might create. And it's almost like it's like everything that they've asked for, but now that it's in front of them, there are fears of what happens if this goes wrong. But the nice thing is that they're not treating you or treating the situation only from like a logical perspective. They are also following their own spiritual guidance, which I think is what's helping them a lot, because they may not be sure how they feel entirely about this situation yet, but with this adversity, accept that challenges are the best way to learn. I think that they're recognizing that the universe kind of brought this to your doorstep and their doorstep because you both were ready for it. And with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like this person knows that there will have to be some kind of movement or change in order for this to, in order for you both to like commit to this further or ascend to a higher level of commitment. I feel like this person loves how you balance them out, and I think that they also love that, you know, you're somebody with an enlightened perspective the same way they have one. I feel like they're definitely surrendering to this situation in the sense that they don't want to allow their fears to get the best of them and ruin something that could be very good. So they kind of are trying to not overthink when it comes to this situation. They definitely have wounds when it comes to past relationships that I think that they are trying to heal, but I think they also see that in you as well. And so they don't really, maybe they don't talk about it because they're not ready to, or just hasn't been brought to that point. But I think that they recognize that there's a lot of benefits to you being in their life, like the things that they could learn. And with the Magician and the Mirror, I feel like this person manifested you, whether they intentionally did or not, whether they intentionally realized it or not. And I think that it kind of freaks this person out, how aligned you two are, or like how similar your journeys have been, or things like that. It kind of seems like you both finished out a phase recently, and now it's like you both are entering a new one with this completion and the portal here, Infinite Mind, Awakening Consciousness. It's like you two are kind of awakening to this connection because it's almost time. And I think that this person is very afraid of how good this could be. But at the same time, I don't sense that they are going to cut things off because of that. Actually, what's really beautiful is that instead of trying to be this emperor and control everything, they're not lying to themselves. They're not allowing their brain to overrule everything. And instead, they're kind of just surrendering to this, to what it will be, and going with the flow. But it makes a lot of sense that they're kind of being hands off with you because they are so afraid of maybe getting hurt or things not going well or them getting emotionally invested and them not working out, that they're letting you do your own thing because they don't want to get too invested and hope for something and it not turn out that way. They're still not necessarily sure what this is going to be or what it's going to turn out to be, but they're at the very least willing and ready to explore and see what happens. I feel like they know that they're ready for this, but there's just a part of them that's afraid. It's like, you know, they're kind of exposing their back to you, and they know that the further this goes, the more vulnerable they will be. But I think they also know that you will be as well, and that kind of comforts them. But I also think that that maybe you've already kind of opened up to them about things that you've been through, and them the same. And so I think that at least there's a mutual respect and understanding here, where both of you have like a more open and honest way of communicating with one another. But I think maybe neither of you have touched the topic of what kind of changes would need to be made in order for this to go further, either because you're not ready or it just isn't time yet. But I think that this person is just kind of not trying to think about the things that would hold this back or what could go wrong. They kind of have like a we'll cross that bridge when we get there mentality, and I think that's working well for them because it's not it's stopping them from getting too overwhelmed. They might see you in their dreams a lot with the 7 of Cups, but even then it's like I think they're realizing that all of their transformations were always bringing them to you or bringing them to this situation. But I think that they're afraid to embrace that or admit that truth. I feel like they want to get to the bottom of what this connection is. They want to know the truth of this connection. I said in the beginning, the buzzword of this pile would be truth. And I think that the one thing that they're afraid of is their truth not being the same as your truth. So I think that they're kind of just feeling things out and hoping that everything works out for the best. But, you know, with this Libra energy here, I do think they see you as like an ideal partner and somebody that they could really see taking the next step with. But I think that they are very hands-off in the sense that they're open to that, but at the same time, if you didn't want that, they wouldn't force that and they wouldn't be heartbroken over it, because I guess there's a part of them in the sense that where it's like, oh no, I don't have to challenge myself and go out of my comfort zone. Oh gosh, that sucks. Like, you know, they're kind of just like, okay, well, if this goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I think that they are recognizing that they will do their best to create the outcome they want without being too emotionally attached to it so that they don't get crushed. It's kind of an interesting energy, but I think, you know, this person is braver than they give themselves credit for. And what I think is really beautiful is that they're choosing to fight these thoughts, fight these fears, and kind of go forward and hope for the best anyway. Because I think that they know that if you're as committed as they are and you two like actually talk about this, that you two can like come out on the other side and be okay, and that this could just be a phase and a cycle in knowing each other. But I do think movement of some kind is involved here. Even if it's moving forward from a past thing that happened between you two for some of you. But I definitely think your connection is kind of forcing them to face their shadows, and it's making them stronger, but it's also making them fearful because there's a lot of truth, a lot of like spiritual energy backing this connection, and it's not the same thing as a casual like, la la la, this is the person that I'm seeing. And yeah, like it's a lot more kind of intense, and I think that neither of you are really talking about the intensity. Either because it's not time yet or it's just not something that's being addressed. But I think that this person, I think you both know how intense this situation is for the both of you. And I think that this person is willing to make the moves necessary to make this a solid connection, but they're only going to do that if you want that as much as they do. Like, and they're very hands-off in the sense that if you just want to keep moving forward, if that's not something that you want, like with peace and love, they're cool with that, because there is a part of them that is very afraid of being open to something like this. But the cool thing is that I think that this person has some good energy. I was about to say some big dick energy. Whether they have one or not doesn't matter. You don't have to even have one to have big dick energy. We know how big dick energy works around these parts, and if you don't, I'm too tired to explain it. I'm sorry, but it's kind of self-explanatory. You know, things like cleaning up after yourself when you're eating at a fast food restaurant, that's big dick energy. When you leave your trash for the workers to throw up because it's to throw away because it's their job, that's small dick energy. You know what I mean? So kind of stuff like that. Has nothing to do with realistic ones. It's all about energy, my kings and queens. But yeah, I think that this person is just open to what lessons this connection may have, and they're trying to be just as hands-off as possible and surrender to whatever it'll be, because they're already learning a lot about themselves through your mirror. Like you kind of show them a reflection of themselves, and they're not scared by what they see. I think they're actually very empowered, and actually I think this is the first time in a long time that they felt maybe more safe in a connection, and more like they've found an equal. And even though they do have fears, even though they are afraid, they're not allowing their fear to stop them from moving forward. And that is the best. The best thing that we could ever possibly ask for, if I'm being honest. They're willing to face the fire anyway. And yeah, it's really, really, really good energy. Kind of has like Frodo Baggins energy, if I'm going to be honest. Like, very good. Okay, so we're going to get some channeled messages from them now and see what they would say to you. They could be completely honest. So, Spirit, what would pile 4's person, what would they say to pile 4? They could be completely honest. Okay, well, they're saying, I'm thinking about you right now, and I think they want to say, send me a text. So, if you're not talking to them, maybe they want to talk to you. But yeah, I think they think about you a lot. They just try not to think about like worries and things like, they're trying not to worry about things that literally haven't even happened yet. They definitely have that we'll cross that bridge when we get there type energy, which I think is good because they're not allowing themselves to ruminate over things that are unproductive. I definitely feel like this connection hasn't been able to be grounded yet in a very solid way. And like there are changes that need to be made in order to do that in whatever way, shape, or form. But they're willing to make those changes if that's something that you want and you both mutually agree upon it, if that makes sense. We also have you are magical to me. So yeah, I think that you guys really like appreciate how interesting like you are. We also have I am manifesting you. So yeah, I mean the magician, like that this person definitely manifested you whether they realized it or not. I feel like for most of you they manifested you and they realize it. So they're kind of like in this difficult place where it's like they're very afraid of what they've manifested, but at the same time, if they pushed away what they literally asked for from the universe, they're gonna look like Boo Boo the Fool. You know what I mean? Like they're literally stopping themselves from having a good thing because they're afraid of it. We've met in a past life. Yeah, you guys definitely have had past lives or something together. There's soul tribe energy here for sure. How about one more, Spirit? What else will pile 4's person? What would they say to pile 4? We can grow faster together. And I think that's one thing that this person actually sees is that like if you two did kind of join forces and decide to be together or ascend to a higher level of commitment, that because you both have similar spiritual views or just see things in a similar way, but also in a different way where it's like productive in terms of helping one another see where they may have weaknesses. Like it's like you both can be stronger as a unit essentially. And on the back of the deck we have you are changing me. And so I think maybe this is the first time in a long time that this person's desire for something has outweighed their fear of it. So I think that's pretty special in of itself. And I think that this person sees something really solid and promising with you, but because of their fear, they're just allowing things to go with the flow. And I feel like, and also just out of being fair to you, they're allowing you to figure out what you want. And I think that overall, though, I think that they're pretty optimistic, and that while they do have fears sometimes, they have the courage to look beyond those. So what we're going to do before we go into the extended is I'm going to get channeled messages from your guides to get some advice about this connection. This is my first time using it in a romantic context, so far it's worked out okay, but hopefully it'll all make sense. So Spirit, what advice do you have? Like, I want to take this one. They're saying take the yellow one too. Okay, I'll take the yellow one too. What advice do you have for pile 4? That's too many. When it comes to this connection and just in general, what do you want pile 4 to know? Okay, so time to ground. Mother Earth misses your presence. So no matter what, it would be helpful if you grounded at this time and focused on your grounding. Let's see. We also have act with authenticity. You'll never regret being in your truth. So yeah, Spirit is definitely asking you to be authentic with this person. Be honest with this person. Not only because they're being honest with you, but also because like they're not going to be upset with you. They're not going to be like mean to you if your truths don't align. They're going to be very accepting and understanding of whatever you need. And I feel like no matter what, this person's always going to respect you. We also have wisdom and divinity is within you. It's time to turn inward. So I think Spirit is saying that you're more than capable of getting information about this connection from yourself and from your guides. If you don't feel that way, maybe look into types of divination, or I don't know, if there's been any divinatory systems that you've been called to, maybe look into researching them. If you're interested in tarot, I do have a video about that that you can check out. I think that is good. On the back of the deck, we have you'll reap what you sow. So I think Spirit is saying, you know, just be very aware that like, be very upfront and forward about what you want with this person. Don't pretend like you don't want something to play hard to get, because like no matter what, they're going to believe you and they're going to trust you. So be very upfront with them, because they're going to do the same for you. We also have hello from heaven. The first loved one that comes to your mind is currently making their presence known to remind you how much they love you and they are still with you. So maybe if you have someone special that passed on that you were thinking of in this card, maybe asking them for a sign of what they think, because obviously they love you and they want what's best for you and they're not going to lead you astray. So, you know, you could say, hey, give me this sign if you think I should do this, or that sign if you think I should do that. You know, be very, very, very specific, and I promise you they will follow through on the specificity of those signs. But we also have clairaudient, you hear it. So Spirit is saying, listen to any songs that come in your head, as they might have answers. But also like pay attention to just, I think that you have a lot of like answers coming to you in your head, or you hear things and that you may not trust just because it gets mixed up with your inner dialogue maybe. So just be aware of that and pay special attention to songs that come on, especially if you feel they have a deeper meaning, or random songs that get stuck in your head because they could have messages. We also have pay attention to your dreams. We have messages for you. Keep a journal. So yeah, dreams have definitely already been coming up, and we also have energy flows where your intention goes. So I think Spirit is asking you to definitely ground yourself so that you can be more productive with how you use your energy. We also have chaotic good, and we had good upright, and so I think Spirit's kind of asking you to lean into the chaos of this connection and just trust and embrace the good that it can have. You don't have to have it all figured out, but we also have the heart chakra. So I think Spirit is saying that this is good for your heart, and this is good for you and them. And I think that this connection definitely isn't a coincidence, and it was definitely brought into your life for a reason, and you too deserve to explore it and see where it goes. So pile 4, I'm going to leave your reading here. We're going to move over into the extended now, where we're going to look at how this person is feeling sexually about you. So it'll be interesting if you've been with this person or if you haven't been with this person. If you haven't been with this person, it'll just be how they think. It'll be just how they feel now. But if you're leaving me here, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me. So thank you so much for that. If you want to support me in other ways, you can follow my social medias. You can check out my merch, and you can also like and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me and you enjoyed this one. Definitely comment down below. Let me know how it resonates. I would love to hear. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this. I hope that this resonated, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. If not, come see me in the extended. Okay, bye.